Tiny Toys Tuesdays, episode 37. We're almost at 40 of these things. Cool. So we continue our order journey through the factions. And today we're doing Lumineth and Seraphon.
Lizards and dinos.
And we got a full house today.
Oh, elves too, I guess.
Yes. All right, so let's just get started. I guess we'll start with Zack. What have you been up to, buddy?
I think pretty much. I've been working on getting my trolls painted up. I have a handful that I still need to get done, and just been getting a bunch of games in for Old Town.
Nice. Yeah, Old Town is coming up. It's 128 people. It's gonna be pretty crazy.
I'm surprised your trolls aren't painted. All I know is every single time I see trolls, they're always painted, and I've seen so many trolls, I expect all trolls to be painted at this point.
Mine are painted, and they were painted by me. I know it's crazy, but they were actually painted by me.
I know, there are Christmas miracles every day.
All right, Cameron, what about you? What have you been up to?
I have been going on the journey of painting blogers, blue ogres, non-stop.
You're painting
all the
them
time.
blue?
Always.
I don't know if I've seen blue ogres before.
My old ogres used to be blue. I love my giant fat muscle smurfs.
Nice.
Yeah, so just non-stop blue ogres every day.
How much further do you have to go on them?
I'm like 80% done.
Okay.
Which isn't bad for a completely new army. And
are you taking the Quill Boys for me?
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Okay, cool.
That's the only reason why I agreed to do these ogres, because I did not want to have to paint Crow Boys. And
you got it. At least my Crow Boys are very nice, so yeah, you can definitely borrow them. And then Henry.
I've been playing games with Skaven, locked in my list for OTTD.
Nice.
And I've been building a bunch of Eshin rats that are like 30 years old and are just tiny little rat monkeys. But, I have to bring them.
Are you doing you don't have to go too much into your OTTD list, but are you going primarily shooting?
So it's actually primary Pestilence, and then I have a separate...
Wow,
it's like it's two armies in one. So it's a Pestilence block with tons of debuffs and just lots of bodies. And then it's an Eshin block, which can run around the board super fast.
I mean,
I told you that Eshin was good.
So is this similar to what I played against?
Yeah, it's the exact same thing except with the bell instead of the... with the bell.
That is I love that list.
So,
it's such a fun one.
I think Eshin's really good. I thought they did Pestilence dirty. So if you were making, if you're making Pestilence work, and again, I haven't looked really into this game, so
it's just because of the subfaction. So I pick 3 units, they pile in without having to be in combat. So I can move towards the middle in my opponent's hero phase with the 3 claw steps, and then pile in at the end of the turn. And if they pick seize the center, I just stop the tactic.
Yeah.
Which is what I did to Zack.
I don't think Plague Monks are as good as they were, right?
They're just cheap bodies. That's all they're there for.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't really have the damage. Even with them, you get the crit mortals on them. They just don't.
It doesn't matter how bad they are when they're just cheaper zombies.
Yeah, it's 60 bodies and it's 20 for 140. So.
Yeah. It's pretty cheap. That is pretty cheap.
They're just zombies, but cheaper.
All right, cool. So, I've been kind of trying to figure out what I am taking. I got to submit my list tomorrow. I'm still between OBR and Slanesh. I can't decide which one I want to take yet. They're both good in their own ways. I'm probably leaning towards OBR, but...
As someone who loves death factions and who hasn't played a competitive death faction in like 2 years, I go to OBR.
Yeah.
What type of OBR though?
Oops, all horses. I call the list horsepower. It's just it's 25 Death Riders that just go all in. So and they're pretty nasty. They're pretty nasty.
Oh, now I'm gonna need to name my list. I think it's going to be all Bloger now.
All right, cool. So let's go on again. Smite GT. If you haven't signed up, sign up. I think the cost goes up here very soon, so definitely. I know Zack. I know you're in there. Definitely sign up. Cool. And then tier list explanation. Again, I always like to go through this. We don't do like in-depth dives of both Lumineth and Seraphon. We're just picking up what we like, what we don't like. Again, if you want in-depth guides and stuff, there's tons of people out there. Warhammer Weekly, Season of War, those type of people do all kinds of different deep dives into this stuff. So go check them out. Cool. Let's get to Lumineth, which to me is the best order faction in my opinion. I've almost gotten through Sylvaneth. That's the last one that I'm working on, but I just don't think anyone's quite.
Don't worry, Sylvaneth's not going to beat this one.
No, not at all.
So
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so I'll go over the overview, and then I'll get your guys' take. Lots of wizards in this. They have a similar rune mechanic from Fire Slayers, but it is keyword locked for some of the power stuff, and they are not once per battle, so you get them. You can use them multiple times, which is very good. In that way, they are better than runes. They are very versatile. They've got pretty much everything, and they're pretty much good at everything. So if you want speed, they got speed, and they're good at it. If you want wizards, they got wizards, and they're good at it. You want to get manifestations out, they're good at that. They've probably got one of the best cav units in the game. So they're good at that. Like, they just have everything they do is they do with everything's super good with them.
Like, I think they have some of the best cav in the game. I also think they are the fastest army in the game.
Yes, I think they are.
I think I clocked Severeth at like 91 inches in a single turn.
In a single turn?
Yes,
I believe that.
Single turn.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's craziness.
He's
I
fast.
don't know what you're gonna do with 91 inches, but you know what? Go for
You're
it.
gonna move.
Yeah.
You're just doing laps around the board. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. At that point, you're just showing off.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, so your guys' take. We'll start with Zack. Anything else I missed?
No, honestly, their battle traits. I actually really love the layout of the battle traits. Just the fact that it requires almost all of them are start of the battle round, so you really have to be a little forward thinking with it. The only one that isn't is the move like the wind, which is just a really good shoot and move back with with any of your hurricane units. So I've not disappointed with any of these, and I think they all have a nice little niche in the army.
Yeah, 100%. I will say too, the start of the battle round can work in your favor if you're going second, because you do all of your stuff after they've picked their battle tactic, right? So it can help you in certain situations. I know that was one of the cases with Fire Slayers as well. Cameron?
So, one, they're like fastest people out there. And I love the way that their battle traits are set up, because the entire army and the way their battle traits work, especially when it goes into like their battle formations, is just you have themes of your army, and so you can just specialize in 2, maybe 3 things, and then you could just guarantee you always have the bonus for that. And it's just like, oh, every single turn, you could just expect me to always activate this one facet of power, because my army runs off of that. And so it can make, even though there's a lot of stuff there, it can make it very easy just to know what you're doing.
Henry, anything else?
I like how if you want to dive deep into one specific kind of element, like the rock people, you get to take their rock ability on top of picking another ability at the start of the battle round. Sub-factions.
Yep.
Definitely opens up to more versatility.
Agreed. Yeah, you don't have to run these. You can do mix mash with this army. You don't have to go one specific playstyle. Like in 3rd edition, you definitely had to do that. You either had to go rocks, you either had to go hurricane, you either had to go you couldn't mix and mash as much.
But you're not punished for not either.
No,
That's
yeah,
the other thing.
no,
You're not punished either way, which is great.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's get into their battle traits. Again, all of these are really good. the move like the wind is the craziest one to me because you can do the move thing, and you can just really just take over battle tactics and objectives and stuff with this, and really deny opponents stuff. It's like, it's pretty good.
There's only like 3 or 4 units that can actually use it, but
True.
man, whew.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good.
They're worth bringing.
Hmm.
I think all of my lists would have one Huracan just for that mobility.
Oh yeah.
Just to have it. It doesn't have to be what's his name, Severith or anything, but
Severus hurts.
just one of the Huracans, like they're really good.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Wind Chargers. Anything else here? I mean, again, all of these are extremely good. Enduring as Rock, as Henry mentioned. That's the -1 to Ren thing for the cows. These are all really, really good. Yeah.
So all of them are good. My favorite out of all of them is just Shining Company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so simple. You get to put it on my favorite unit in this entire army, which is their freaking horses. And so now, not only are their horses some of the strongest horses in the game, now it's hard to hit them.
Oh yeah.
And then
Yeah,
And-
-1 to hit is so rare, and it's not rare in the game, but it's a little inconsistent with how to get it. And being able to consistently give a -1 to hit, I think it's just great. Because think about a lot of your big, beefy units, trolls, ogres, giants, they're all forced to hit.
Yep.
Putting that to a 5-up, it hurts.
And it's just a passive. It's not within a certain range. It's not I make my certain opponent do it. It's just no. You just always have a -1 to hit me.
Yeah.
Why?
I will say that Shining
Because-
Company was the quote unquote worst one that I had on here but I probably should move it up a little bit. It was just Venari lock. It's just keyword locked more than most of these. So
Yeah.
So that's.
But you
the
can
reason.
just go warden spam, and then all of a sudden you got 120 guys.
Oh,
who
100%, 100%.
minus
Minus
1 to
one.
hit.
Yeah. That's
your
real
your
good.
archers, now it's harder to shoot them
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
them off the board.
Yeah. It is really good.
I-
Cool.
I
Good
see a
luck,
lot-
ogres.
I see yeah, right. I see a lot of people going with that one. That's probably like the go-to that people are going to choose.
Well,
Just because
Yeah.
so
It's
many
the
units
safe
have it.
option.
It's just so easy.
if you want another one, you can do it with your battle formation. This is the one part of the book I dislike the most.
With the battle formations?
Yes, and it's not because the battle formations are necessarily bad. I just think this was the lazy way out. There was like no thought into these
Yeah.
battle formations at all.
They don't really add
Yeah.
much.
It was.
It's very simple. You choose. It's one
You
of the
get
4
double.
options from above.
And
You
then you
get
choose another
again.
one. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It's very good. I think the Huracan Temple's hilarious. Just because you can do both of them. But I will say I think it's the laziest part of the tome. The index. It's just they could have come up with some cool ideas here, and it was just kind of lazy.
Yeah.
Agreed. It is lazy, but at the same time, it is still very good.
Yeah.
Because you just made your battle formation your basic
Yeah.
traits twice as good.
100%.
You take Sonari Council, you go a ton of wardens, and now you're hard to hit and +1 to cast across everywhere.
Yeah, it's really good. Really, really
Yeah.
good. Again, I just wish they would have done something a little different. Okay, moving on. Heroic traits. All really good. Masterful. I said Perfect Strike wasn't as good, but Masterful Technician was my favorite, which is the. It's the redeploy. You can
Yeah.
never get below 4, which is pretty good.
Redeploy is always good,
Always good.
especially guaranteeing a 4.
Correct.
The problem with the Perfect Strike is that because it's a core attack ability, you are
It's either that
Instead
or
of fighting.
Yeah.
it's that or fighting, which like some of your guys, unless it's like a hero, like a spellcasting hero, will have decent attacks in the first place.
Mhm.
And
But
it's once
yeah,
per battle. I hate once per battle heroic traits, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
if
I wish it was
not once per
end
battle,
of
I think I'd
turn.
like it.
If it was
Yeah.
end of turn instead of in the combat phase, you just finish something off with it. That would be fine.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
strong though.
Yeah. And then the reroll
Honestly, the
charge
big-
or casting once per battle is fine too. Again, it's once per battle. It just sucks. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I don't know. The hard part is 2 of these are once per battle abilities.
Exactly.
So your consistent option is the
Redeploy.
4 on the redeploy, and that's just
Which
like your
is
you at least
good.
get.
I really
is
do
good.
like it. I really do like the redeploy one.
And honestly, I kind of like the once per game reroll for a casting or a charge, just because, yes, it's once per game. And that's not fun, but like, it still lets you have that once per game reroll
Yeah, but
that I think can be very useful in a
Alright.
key moment.
There's so many
So
ways to get the rerolls and the
Here,
bonuses to
here's
casting.
my here's my problem. There's ways for you to get that free reroll just without having to take an artifact.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As well
That's
as
exactly
there's
what
a lot of casting in the army, which is just you have this number, where there's just no rolling.
I'm saying. Correct. Which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like you don't need it. You don't need Paragon of Ish. The redeploy though is I think that's the go-to. I think most people will see that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Moving on to artifacts. All decent. I said Silver Wand was my favorite, which is the.
Oh, yeah.
Add one to the power level for the wizard.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
good.
agree.
good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get more spell casting with my spell casting army.
And their spells are pretty good. Yeah.
I don't like Waystone. Again,
Yeah.
it's one of those. It's
It's a
once
trap.
per battle.
And it's a trap.
It's only there to like maybe take an objective turn 4 or 5.
True. That's a good way to use it. It's a good way to use it.
Yeah, and that's about it.
That's it.
And then I said the Phoenix Stone was swinging because it's on a 3-up. So
Yeah, a lot of things just give you an ability. I know we talked about this a little bit, but the fact that you have an artifact on a 3-up, so on a 1 or 2, you just wasted your artifact.
Correct.
And it puts them at 1.
Yeah, it puts them at
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that one. That's why I said I don't really like it. I think the go-to here is Silver Wand.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do
Agreed.
agree with you, Henry. I do think that Waystone could be used at like turn 4 or 5 just to get something. But again, you're so fast, like with so many.
Yeah,
units.
exactly. It's kind of
We don't
redundant.
need it.
One Huracan guy is
So-
going to be able to do better than the teleport. every
So
turn.
it's funny because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about all these things, and it's like, oh well, you wouldn't really use this because you have this all in the army, and that's exactly what Lumineth is. Like, we're gonna get into the scrolls, and it's gonna be like, you just have everything. So like, what are you gonna do for a heroic and an artifact when you have everything, right?
Just do more of what you already have. Spellcasting.
Yeah, spellcasting.
Yeah.
Speaking of spellcasting, Speed of Hish is stupid good. Just add
Yes.
4
Yes, it
inch
is.
movement. It's on a 5 cast, and you just add 4 to the movement of however many guys you want. How many ever wizards you have?
Yeah.
So
What is
gross.
the average movement of this army? Like 5, 6
5 to
inches?
6.
6,
Yeah.
I think.
Now
Also
9 to
base
10. Holy crap.
And they're not.
Yeah.
Speed of Hish is easy to get off. On a 5?
Yep.
Like, it's crazy.
20 wardens moving at 10 inches.
And it has a
Jeez.
massive range, wholly within 18.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Like-
so good.
It's so good.
So good.
Your castle army can be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then overwhelming heat, although it's expensive to get off, there's ways to get 7 very easily in here.
Oh yeah.
And just halving enemy movement
Half movement and damage. Oh,
is
especially at 18 inches.
so good. It's so
It's
and
so-
yeah, add 18 inches too. It's so good. Most like Seraphon's got like 12-inch casts for this.
Yep.
This is 18. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then
Seraphon's paying for their sins of 3rd edition.
they definitely are 100%. And then
I'm not complaining about it.
and then a 5-up ward. I think Protection of Hish is like extremely good.
Yeah.
It's really expensive.
It's the same as last edition.
So what it is if I remember correctly, all the spellcasters can just cast on an 8.
Yeah.
Just once per battle, and so it's just every battle round you just cast
You
this,
cycle it out.
and you just cycle it out. So you will just always have this, and so your army just always has a 5-up board.
Yep. And this is you're pretty much gonna play this army in a playstyle where you're gonna have part of it castle, part of it cav, part of it move type of deal. So you're gonna have kind of like a 3-prong
You're gonna
approach, I
have-
would imagine.
Yeah, you're gonna have the super castle, which everything's gonna be a 5-up board, and then you're gonna have your cav, which look at that, your cav's now
It's like
moving at
17 inches now.
Yeah.
16 to 18 inches,
Yeah.
And -1 to hit.
and -1.
And minus 1.
Jesus, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and -1 to hit. That's just Lumineth is so good, man. They're so good. All right. Anything else on spells? We're good here, right?
Their
Yeah.
spell lore is so simple and so effective.
It's so effective.
Yeah.
100%. Speed wins games, and when you can
Who knew
deny and
Just
do it.
giving everyone within 12 inches a 5-up board would be good.
Who knew? You can ask some death factions; they might know.
Nurgle.
Nurgle, yeah, Nurgle. All right, manifestations. These are all pretty good. I would struggle to see if I want this or Morbid. Morbid's really good, especially with their casting. These are good. The Twin Stones is the +1 to cat. Was it +1 to cast?
+1 to casting
Cast
rolls. Everybody
whole
wholly
6.
within 6.
Yep, and it's on a 5, so super easy.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the big one was the Ruin of
yeah,
Petrification.
that's the one I have.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't remember. How far can you throw this thing out?
18.
18, and then you pick each enemy unit within 6 in any hero phase.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it's
pretty
so
good. It's
bad.
pretty good. So what would you guys do? Would you guys take this manifestation or would you take Morbid?
Morbid all the way.
Morbid's really
Um,
good. It is really good.
It's like it's not even a question
Yeah.
because
Morbid.
you take out Purple Sun, you give everyone -1 to save, and then your archers in the back line on have
That's
Ren
true.
now.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's all you need to do.
And it's real easy to get that stuff out with this army.
Oh, yeah.
Caligrave is stupid. He's so good. You banished or you killed the Purple Sun. I'm just gonna get next turn. Oh, you killed the Purple Sun. I'm just gonna get next turn.
Yep.
Like he's that little goober, man. Wait till we get.
Or
that.
in their turn. Oh,
Yes,
you got rid
I
of
know,
it
I
on the
know.
spend a command
Yep.
point, and there you go.
Yep, it's so good. All right, cool. So, manifestation's good. Still take Morbid.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the Warscrolls, and there's gonna be so many things that are just so good. Like I was trying to find like bad parts of some of this stuff, and I just couldn't.
You know it's hard when you're trying to find the best
Right, it was real bad.
Yeah.
We talked about Uthra a little bit before the show, Henry, and I marked him as my favorite on this list.
Oh yeah.
On this at least first table. He is so good.
It's insane.
Free all-out attack, pretty good. And then the 3d6 manifestation destroyer, like he is pretty good. Techless does techless things. I do think Techless is still expensive. I honestly have created a lot of lists without him.
Yeah.
I
A
don't.
lot of the lists we've seen don't use him either.
I love what they did with Techless because Techless is still stupid good.
He is really good.
He's so ridiculously
He is
good.
really good.
However,
He's frail.
he is very frail, which he should be. I say frail. He only lost. He went from a 4-up save to a 5-up save, but he gained a 5-up ward naturally. So I think he's actually slightly tankier than he was before.
Well, I mean, he kind of always had the 5-up ward with the spell, right?
True,
Yeah, but now
true.
he does. Now
Now he
instead
doesn't
of
need it.
having to cast that spell,
He's
he
just doing
could just
searing white light.
Yeah.
or he could just do 4 manifestations.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
No,
The entire Morbid
very good.
Conjuration.
Yeah, just every turn.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Now he is expensive. He's 590 points. He's a
All right,
pricey
you
boy.
you say expensive, but like we're looking at I don't know like Nagash or
True.
any of these
Yeah.
other
900
stuff.
point.
True.
God.
I will again. He is good. There's no doubt about it. But I do have lists without him.
Yeah, like he's still really good, but he is now no longer I have to take him.
What I
real-
think
Yeah.
is cool is when you're casting in your opponent's turn, he doesn't take that -1 to cast, and he still just auto casts at a 10.
Yeah.
it's pretty
So
good.
it's like, oh, here's a free Kronspine if I'm taking the Kronspine for some reason.
Or oh hey, I'm just going to cast Storm of Searing Light every
Yeah.
turn.
So
Yep.
good. Yep. What I want to know is what are your guys' thought? Light of Etherion I thought was just an auto include last edition.
Oh yeah.
How is he here? I don't know if he's an auto include, but he's still
I
good.
think
I still think he's not included.
he just got better. Like he's a 3-up save that can't have any rend on him.
Hmm.
Oh,
No.
and he has a 5-up ward now. Also, he ignores all penalties your opponent will give him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll.
He's
He's only
I
250
think-
points, so I mean that's pretty good for 250 points.
You make him your general. He's really hard to kill, and then it's hard for them to get tactics against him.
I mean, and even look at that rend. He's
Yeah.
got 4
Rend
attacks
3,
on free
3
rend.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 attacks on rend 3, 2 attacks on rend, effectively 2.
His weapon
Emo-
got better.
Well, and
Yeah.
and you can't. The biggest thing is you can't modify. Like you can't debuff him. Like he's just gonna hit for that.
Yeah.
You don't need to do an all-out attack or anything.
You can let him
right?
crit on 5s with the one formation thing,
Yep.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you?
Well,
yeah. You can get
No.
him five up.
right?
He doesn't have the keyword.
because he has to be Venari, right?
Oh, he's not Venari.
He's
Okay.
he's got to be Venari.
Yeah.
He's got to be Venari. So he doesn't
Okay,
get
so at
that.
least he can't go that crazy.
But I mean,
Yeah, sure.
he is going to do
Yeah.
quite a bit of damage. He is 6 attacks that are decent. If you take those 6 attacks and go down to 3, you're still doing like 9 damage on average.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're into a hero monster, his the blade goes back to Ren 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's for 250 points. I probably still put him on my list. I mean,
He is still he is a little bit expensive, but he does do.
I don't see him not earning those points.
Oh yeah, he
That's
gets
fair.
those points
That's totally
back.
fair.
every
Like
time.
if you,
I think that's the best way to describe
Yeah.
the Light of
100%.
Eltharion.
Yep, that's a good way of putting it. Does he gain you 250 points against the other army? Most likely, yes.
All right,
Yeah.
and I'll go ahead and counteract this with Devil's Advocate.
Oh, here we go.
Would you rather have the Light of Eltharion or 5 Venari Dawn Riders?
Eltharion.
Oof,
I'm going with
dude.
Dawn Riders.
I might be with Cameron on this.
Those
Are
Dawn
Dawn
Riders,
Riders 250 points?
they're like 240, 220, something like that.
We'll get there.
If they're 220, I take the Dawn Raiders.
I don't. I
Yeah,
think they're-
and also those Dawn Riders are going to kill Eltharion.
Yeah.
yeah,
mortal-
yeah,
Just mortal wound.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that is Eltharion's weakness right
yeah,
there.
he's
He does
6
have a 5
wounds,
ward,
6
but
wounds. If you do mortal wounds to him, he's just dead.
Yeah.
So
Like he's good. But
he
Dawn
has
Riders-
he can die, but
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. And now that you put it that way, Cameron, I don't know. I don't know if I take him. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good.
That's a good that's a good way of putting it for sure.
well, it's how are you gonna use him kind of? Because if you stick
Yeah.
him near an infantry unit, he can't be seen, and if you're diving a whole cavalry unit back behind a big infantry blob, you kind of messed up in your positioning.
True.
Well, my Venari Dawn Riders
Are moving
have
like
a
800
16-inch
inches,
movement anyways, so
Yeah.
The dude I am putting in though is Uthril probably. That dude
Oh,
is-
100%.
That dude is so good.
3d6 mortals on a manifestation,
Yeah, it's really good.
like
yeah.
He's
yeah.
just a manifestation killer for sure.
Oh, and the same spell is
a horde
you-
clear instead.
is a horde clear. Okay,
Yeah.
2 for 1.
Yep.
I like how they just gave him both. Like,
Yeah.
sure, you can just have
Yeah.
both, dude. It's fine.
Why not?
Yeah, pretty good.
Why would they not?
If you're doing Dawn Riders, you're 100% gonna just put the lore region in there. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
He is extremely good. Rerolling charges, pretty good. And then what? He gives him +1 to attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 1
Yep.
to the tech characteristic.
Yeah. I mean, it's once per battle, but
And reroll charges.
I mean, hell, I'd take 2 of them.
Oh no! Once per battle, I can send both of my double stacked Venari Dawn Riders in that are both moving at 18 inches, reroll charge, +1 to the attack characteristic. They both get to activate before your opponent.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see if you survive.
and his ether quartz is
Yeah, it's
also
-1
really good.
-1 to hit rolls. And +1
And
casting.
+1 cast.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The fact that this dude's a caster too, come on. Games Workshop, what is wrong with you?
He's a double caster because I just gave him the silver one.
Yeah, for real. For 230 points. Are you kidding me?
And he's gonna move 18 inches with the
Yeah,
unlimited
dude,
spell.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
I just don't understand. I don't know. These guys got like all kinds of stuff. All right, we're moving on.
And he's fast enough to put the 5-up ward, so now he can be with your Dawn Riders to also give him a 5-up ward.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way. The Caligrave is stupid. This is an auto include, and it's got to be an auto include in like every list, right? Like, when are you not taking this guy? He literally gets a free manifestation every turn, right? Like, I don't understand.
All right, I need to look up where this Caligrave is.
Change the
It's
casting
further
rule
down.
for if it,
Once per turn,
as long
auto
as you're
8
doing
cast.
a summon spell, he just gets an 8 unmodified.
Change a cap.
Yep.
That is
And he just does
That
it
is
every
pretty
turn, once
stupid.
per turn. So he literally just gets a manifestation out every turn.
Yeah.
For 150 points, guys. Like, there's when are you not putting this in your list?
It's like, okay,
And how many
Purple
points
Sun,
do
do
you-
you want to?
150 points, man.
Oh my, that's so stupid.
It's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand. That dude is definitely going up in points. There's no way. I just, when I saw that scroll, I just was like, what is the downside here?
You know, we were talking about because we were talking about how we think manifestation is going to change because right now it's a little bit rampant. I have an idea. What if they just took all of the manifestations and they increased the value it took to summon them by 1?
Yeah. I think the lowest it should be is a 7.
That'd be
And for like the
that'd be-
cheapo free ones.
So the issue you have with that though is now the heavy caster armies, it just is easier for them and harder for other ones. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
a great
to a certain
balance.
extent, it means that like Purple Sun and what is it, Kronspine would be a 9.
Well, I think at that point people just don't take those then.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah,
All right.
we'll see. They're gonna have to do something with manifestations. They're rampant right now.
Well, and I think though a lot of the fixes of manifestation, we're starting to see some of the early ones already with the clarification to, like the Morbid's movement shenanigans.
Yeah.
The stupid not normal moves you can move, but you can't because you just fly. They need to clear up a lot of that. Crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of like expect us to know how the keywords interact without kind of giving us a guide.
Well, I think the way that it was intended is what a lot of people think, but rules as written, it doesn't work that way.
Well, yeah, but you have to like be like, okay, so I know from this keyword that this means this thing, and then if I go 200 pages in this other book of the core rules,
Right.
I know that they don't interact now.
Right.
But if you're just plainly looking at the one word scroll, you're like, oh, this is free.
I mean,
So
Zack knows we had a pretty heated discussion with the Gravetide in our chat, and both me and Zack were on it.
yeah.
And I was adamant that the stupid Gravetide couldn't move into combat like that. And now granted, all of us were wrong because it has the fly keyword, so
Yep.
it can't move into combat anyway. But it was crazy to me that was even a thing. So they just need to clear it up. Games Workshop needs to come out with like a
lot of
whole
FAQs.
thing. Yeah, a lot of like a whole errata of just or an FAQs of just how manifestations are supposed to work, because it's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, I already know at OTTD I'm gonna be like every game. So tell me the entire way manifestations work again to the judge.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be such a hassle for him.
Yeah. And it's just so, I think once they clarify that, things like Caligrave get more, find their true niche in the armies.
Right.
Because, don't get me wrong, I think casting on an 8 is phenomenal for any manifestation. But once we actually see how manifestations actually interact, once a lot of these things are clarified,
he might go down.
It might go down.
Yeah.
He might not be as good.
Right now, though, taking Morbid and just going Purple Sun every turn, and you have to deal with it. And if you don't get a Purple Sun, I got Gravetide, and he's just gonna be annoying. He's gonna be super annoying.
And it's once per turn, so you can also do it on your opponent's turn.
I know. Just he's gonna put out manifestations, 2 manifestations out every round. It's crazy.
Just don't even try picking off the Purple Sun at that point.
Yeah, I mean you just have to deal with it, which sucks. But the Banner Blade's garbage.
Agreed. I was just about to go.
Yeah,
There's
terrible.
you're never going to
Garbage.
take this guy.
The Enlightener's pretty good, and that's all I had. I actually think the Cathlar is really bad too. I didn't really like him either. He used to be great. I just don't think he's good anymore.
It's niche. I don't know how. I haven't really seen control score being a huge thing.
Not a huge thing, but it has come up in my games. But it's not as big as
Like
I
you
thought
don't
it was going
dedicate
to be.
an entire hero for it.
Correct.
Yeah, there's no true control score debuffing list that we're seeing a lot of right now.
Yep.
So, because
I would
it's either you get it or you don't, and a lot of people are just like,
It's funny. Control score replaced bravery from third edition going to fourth, and I think we're going to see the control score niche armies are going to be just as prevalent as the bravery score niche
Yeah,
armies.
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You can do it. It's
You
just
gotta
there's a
put
lot more
into
effective
it.
ways of doing it.
And you got to put a lot
Yeah.
into it in order for it to work.
It was just like bravery. You know what the best way to activate bravery effects on your opponent? Just kill your opponent.
Or you go some weird hoarder gas plus catapult build.
Yeah. Well, what's the best way to lower your
Yeah.
opponent's control score? Just kill your opponent.
I think the Cenarian Lightyear you'll see quite a bit. A 2-caster that can duplicate a spell. Pretty good. Pretty good. Neat,
Yeah.
neat little trick. Neat little trick. Yeah, and then the ignore all modifiers or save rolls for the target, positive, negative. So just put that on Dawn Riders. Like, good luck.
Oh, God, our Wardens.
Yeah, I mean they're really good, really really good. I definitely think you'll see a Caligraven and a Lightner in most lists.
Yeah, they're just good casters.
Yep. Anything else? Anything else on this page?
Nah.
Sweet.
Mm-mm.
All right, let's go to the next one. Avlinor, I had him as a freaking S, dude. This guy is a beast.
Oh yeah,
Avlinor
He
is a
slaps.
My
he
boy's the
slaps,
cows.
dude. He hits like a truck. The command point to add 1 to the. It's not even a once per battle. It's just a command point. Just add 1 to the attacks of
Yep.
melee weapons. It's just crazy. He is going to be obviously your auto include in like super heavy, Alarith lists. Like he is.
His rampage
Rampage is
charge
good.
me, and I get +1 more attacks as well.
Yeah, you sit him on a point. You say, "Come on, come at me, boy." He's really good.
Yeah.
My favorite unit on here probably though is Alania and Elithor?
The
Elithor.
twins.
Jesus, the twins are so cool, man. Such a cool.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks you can't take them in as an ally anymore, but they
Yeah.
are sick, man. They are really
It's like
cool.
the two out of the 2 Lumineth models I own. It's the twins and Severith.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
The only Lumineth model I own is the twins, and they're super cool. And they're the ones that do Total Eclipse, which is still it's toned down. It's still super brutal, but it is definitely a toned down Total
Oh,
Eclipse, which
it's
is good.
so toned down. I'm so thankful that
Yes.
it got toned down.
Thank
that
God.
much.
Thank God. We all wanted
Mm.
it. But I think I put these twins in my list. I just like them. They're just cool. Utility, Total Eclipse, just really good.
I love that you can just go ahead and have the twins be like a really good spellcaster, and then all of a sudden, round 3, round 4, you just go, all right, I'm bringing out the
Big guns.
big stick,
Yeah.
and then you start
Just damage
charging
5
there
and
and
6.
do
Ugh.
5 damage 6 and potentially damage 7 attacks at the end of the game,
Yep.
and just like
Yep.
I'm here to kill.
What do you guys think about the Windseeker? I.e. the Lore Seeker.
The lore seeker.
I'm gonna come down. Yeah, the Windseeker, the one where I come down and just take points.
Okay.
Probably
Oh,
not.
the Wind Mage?
Probably not worth 170 points, but
No, so
Uh,
in theory, he has a great use because it's first turn objective taking. However, if you're going to spend 170 points just for that, you know what you could also do? Just get any Huracan archers
That's true.
and just double move
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
do the exact same thing.
and
but better.
and he's a point or he's a drop.
Yep.
Right,
Exactly.
Yeah.
which is a bad thing. You don't want drops in this. So yeah,
I think
it's gonna be a no for
The
me
only
on
thing
that.
I like about him is that if it's him and then another character on an objective, he just out controls them.
True. I mean,
But-
true. He's going to take that until you kill him, but I'd rather take Wind Chargers
Yeah.
or something, right?
There's way better stuff. to put
Yeah.
instead.
I honestly, teleporting or any form of deep strike with Lumineth it's just one of those things where unfortunately they have so many fast models that you're probably going to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a good teleport either. It's at the beginning of deployment.
Yeah.
It's like
So
Right.
if you go second, your guy's just kind of out there.
Cool.
it's like the
Anything-
mask,
Anything,
except worse than the mask.
Oh, I take the mask over the Lord Seeker. Anything else on here? We're good.
Yeah.
All Red Stone Mage, pretty good. Damage spell and free red ability on F3. Sure. Swingy. Cool. Let's go to the Hurricans. Huracan dudes.
Good and fast.
Severith is
Ugh.
insane. Potential casual 45 inches move a turn. That's a turn. Oh yeah, so I guess it is 90. You were right for a round. Oh, I don't know if you could do that. Could you do that?
So
battle
what it
rounds?
is you increase his movement, and then you go ahead, you move, you shoot, you move,
again.
you charge, You pile in, you power through.
Yep.
That's insane, dude.
And he just can't be shot most of the
yeah.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
are you taking him for 350 points?
I fought this guy in a fight,
Probably.
Yeah.
and he one-shotted. What is it? He one-shotted Radikar the Beast. So
Just from the shooting attack, the D3 plus
Ju-
1? It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
from a cover fire.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. 4 attacks, 2 threes, 3 rend, D3 plus 1. Yeah, he's
The
pretty.
3 rend is just, it's huge.
He's pretty brutal, man. He is pretty brutal.
Yeah, he's just a solid hero.
and
Severeth, he was last edition, he still is.
And honestly, even his 4-up, 5-up, he's kind of hard to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a Vermin Lord stats.
Dude, that's crazy.
Well, view it as trying to kill 2 rock guts. That's the comparison.
Yeah.
4-up
that's-
base
that's
save,
actually
they
the same
go to a
comparison.
3-up and a 5-up ward. That's 2 rock guts.
Except
Can
the
have
rock
it, yeah.
guts are on speed and are taking after Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
and also
for
fire
real.
Yeah.
pistols.
I don't see Severeth ever being like a truly bad decision to bring.
Yeah,
12-inch
I mean-
range doesn't even matter. He's moving 90-something inches a turn.
Yeah.
He doesn't even need to charge you. He could just,
Yeah, he's pretty
You
good.
just
man.
walk
He's
away.
pretty good. He's pretty
And,
Yeah.
and also his rampage, it just damages your opponent always.
And
Just
debuffs.
choose 3 people, damage and debuff them.
Yeah, and it's 3 people. Like, you
Yeah.
could have done 1 person and it would have been just fine. No, not Lumineth. No. They
Also-
get 3 people.
Also remember, you can never tie him down because he can retreat, run, shoot,
Yeah,
charge.
yeah.
Yep.
He's pretty crazy,
Yep.
man. He is pretty nuts. Pretty nuts guy. Wind Mage is also really good. Was it transporting?
Plus 3 move to a wind charger unit within 12.
Yep, you still
So
got to
I'm
roll
not
3 up, which sucks, but yeah.
I played a game with him, against him, and I don't think he actually has that good use.
I think his spell's kind of weak. Get to teleport. We already discussed it. We don't really need teleports.
Why would you need to teleport when you can just move
Exactly.
30 inches?
Yeah.
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 And 150 points. I'm probably just taking
that's the trade-off, though. Is you're looking at he's 200 points cheaper than Severeth. Granted, we've already explained how much we like Severeth, but if you have 150 points and you need a Huracan Mage in order to bring in some of those units, and you just don't have the points for Severeth, I see there's no downside.
Yeah.
He's still Wizard 1. He
Yeah.
still flies. He's still your objective taker. Even if you could ignore his spell because you're never going to use it, and then you still have at least like the potential for adding, adding 3 to a movement characteristic.
And then if you use the unlimited spell instead, that's plus 7.
Yeah.
So-
That's true. That's a good point.
Like I could see value in him if you are trying to focus something that isn't Hurricane.
Well, and also if you're just low on points, right? To your point.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go in. So that's all the heroes. Let's go on to all the other stuff. I mean, obviously, me and Cameron both picked the Dawn Riders as our favorite unit of this
Oh,
book.
they're only 210 points. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
There's just, 210 points, man. Pretty.
all right. So I'm gonna go on my rant about Dawn Riders now.
Okay.
I am both angry, angry and sad at Dawn Riders. I
I think
love
I know
Dawn
what's coming.
Riders.
I think I know what's coming. Has to do with death.
Yep. And I look at these guys and I compare them to the unit that I wish was so much better, and that is the Blood Knights
Yep,
from Soul
Blood
Light.
Knights, yeah.
And I just look and compare the two, and like, all right, Dawn Riders are cheaper. Dawn Riders have more people that buff them. Dawn Riders -1 to hit. Oh, Dawn Riders, they do mortal
3
wounds. Oh,
up
they have
for
5 up
every model.
criticals. They have the same amount of wounds. They have the same amount of
Save.
movement. Oh, but you can increase the Dawn Riders movement, and you
Mhm.
can give the Dawn Riders +1 to attack.
You can
and
give them
-1.
ignore modifiers to their save, so they're just
Yeah,
3 up.
ignore modifiers to the save. Oh, they're cheaper too.
And
I
you
am
get,
so
you get
angry
10
at-
of these guys for 420 points.
Yes.
Yep.
That is.
Oh,
Oh my
also,
God,
you
dude.
can take 2 units of 10 Dawn Riders, and both of them get to attack before you do.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy. Dawn Riders
It's just-
are insane, man. They're so
Dawn
good.
Riders are just like probably the best, just the best cavalry in the game. I look at some of the big ones. Well, I've already gone through. They're better than Blood Knights. We have Chaos Knights. All right, they're probably going to do more. They're probably going to kill the Chaos Knights
Oh,
before
yeah.
they do anything, and they're cheaper than them.
Yeah.
We even have
40
Varying.
points cheaper.
We even have Guard, and we go ahead and we go, okay, if I have a similar amount of points of Dawn Riders versus Guard, the Dawn Riders are just going to Mortal Wound annihilate them.
Yeah.
Just they're going to be able to choose
Yeah.
the combat first.
I mean,
They're
you're
going to be able to kill them before anything.
You're killing at least one of the Guard with just the mortals.
Hmm.
At least.
Yeah, and remember,
Yeah, no
I'm
mortal
I'm
word on the
going
Vanguard. Oh,
I'm going to charge, because I have the 18-inch. I believe they're
Yeah.
14-inch movement.
you get to pick your fight.
I'm going to
Yeah.
choose the fight, which means I get the +1 to my damage, and I am going to have mortal wounds. If I'm
And
going
they're
to be going
crit
in,
mortals, dude. Is there any other cav that's crit mortal?
No.
Not that I remember.
How did they get
The
crit
only
mortals?
argument for crit mortals that I've seen, at least, and this is coming, is the Gloom Spite Squig boss is able to give it, but that's on the mountain.
Slanesh can give it.
And Slanesh can give it.
If you get
They
the
can
spell
give it-
on the
they can-
excited.
They can give it to melee units, yes. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Shooting would be nuts, but yeah, they can give it to
And
melee.
you know what? You still
the
require
Slickblade Seekers.
you require a spell to do that, and
Yeah.
giving
These are
me
just free,
the
dude.
capability.
Yeah, this
of
is
a
just
buff.
free.
That's crazy. I don't understand how they got this, man. Like crit 2 hits, sure. But they got crit mortals, man. Like that's crazy to me.
And also, we're going over the other ability I haven't even talked about yet, which was an ability that was extremely controversial in the 3rd edition, which was the Black Knight charges, which
Oh,
they
yeah.
did a mortal wound on a 4-up,
Yep.
and then you had to
Yeah.
take a hero to make it a 3-up
Yep.
for every model, and it was incredibly powerful. Guess what? They just get the 3-up for free.
Free, yeah.
Yep.
And
For
and
each
most
model-
It does have to be an
unit.
infantry unit, though.
Sure.
To be
Oh.
fair.
Sure.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
But
But
also,
still.
oh, that's a good point. So you wouldn't be able to remove a Vanguard. Good call. Good call. Me playing OBR Death Raiders, you just roll a 2-up for the unit. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't get one for each model in the unit. It's crazy.
Well, and it's the D3 roll a 2-up.
right.
This is just roll a die on
Yeah.
a 3-up deal 1
Yeah,
mortal.
Yeah.
yeah. You
pretty
had to roll a D3 on a 2-up. You do that many mortal wounds. I get to touch you with a single model, and I can roll 10 dice. And every 3-up is a mortal wound.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you, if I ever do a Lumineth list, I'm taking 2 packs of 10 of these guys, so I'm going to do that twice.
Yeah. Oh, I know, and they're gonna be brutal. You're not killing them anytime soon. Like they
Yep.
just are so. They're so.
You could
tanky.
poke an infantry hero and then kill them, and then attack something else. You can go ahead and just charge into trolls because they're infantry, and that's actually a fairly good way
I
of
will
being
say-
able to lower them down.
Death Riders do have something on them though, and it
Oh?
has come into play a lot. Being able to charge over screens
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah.
Jed next time you see him. It is really really good.
Every time I see cavalry, like these units just get stronger and stronger, I just keep thinking, man, Mornfang are so good now to counter it. Because
Oh, yeah.
that's like the only thing that can stop them is Mornfang.
And you know what my problem with Mornfang is? Is they're way too expensive. And
Yeah.
I hate Mornfang with a fiery passion.
Yeah.
Anything? I know we talked a lot on the Dawn Riders. They're obviously the grades here, but
Okay, yeah.
Wardens are great objective takers. They will just sit on
Yep.
points. Like
They
They're-
also
they're
crit
screen.
mortals still.
Sentinels.
Wardens
I-
are a great protection unit.
Sentinels are down. I think. I don't think there's.
Yeah,
as good as
going
they
to
used to be,
auto
but-
wound instead of mortals is kind of whatever.
How many attacks do those guys have?
2 each,
They're almost
Uh,
the identical thing to Reverse.
and they can become 24 inches at -1 to hit.
Like I definitely see a good use for them. You take
Oh,
take
yeah.
a 20 pack, and that's 41 shots,
For
crit
300
auto
points,
wounds.
yeah.
And you could
Critting
still
on
give them,
5s.
you can still give them crit
Yeah,
on
good call.
5s.
Yep.
Yep.
24 inches, like
Does the crit
still-
5 work
yeah.
on shooting?
Yep.
Okay.
It
okay.
just says the critical hits
Yeah,
becomes on
sure,
a 5-up.
Sure, that's really good. It's really good.
and you cover fire from 24 inches away with 41 shots at auto crit 5s auto wound. Like
Mhm.
that'll do some work.
Yeah, I think
It's volume. It's about the
It's
volume.
Yeah.
The ballista is okay.
Garbage.
I'd
I
rather
think
just
it's
take
garbage. I
sentinels.
just take something else.
Yep.
I'm just taking
I
sentinels.
just take
at that
wardens or sentinels. Yeah.
Point. Okay, cool. These guys. Again, all of these are good. All of them are good. There's none of these on this list that I didn't like.
Yep.
Blade
Blade Lords are
great.
the same.
Stone Guard are really good. You can also buff their attacks. Obviously, the mountains are great. Huracan Wind Chargers reinforced can be pretty.
Talk about a
So-
number of attacks.
Yeah, they can be pretty brutal.
It's a number of attacks, but I think I played against these guys. I think their biggest thing is just how many wounds they are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're like because they went to 3 wounds, they're so hard just to chew
Remove,
through.
Yeah, it's like Slick Blade
Seekers.
Seekers.
Yeah.
They're no. Who cares about the save? They just have so much health you can't chew through it all.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
playing ogres. Like, yeah, you're gonna damage me, but can you kill me?
And can we just like their biggest thing is you roll wards on these guys.
Yep.
Like
Yep. And when wards are much more
is.
prevalent.
I will say in the 2 games that I've played for OBR, the MVP for both of those games, without a doubt, was the Shrieker.
Oh yeah.
And the Shrieker comes out and it gives -1 to ward rolls with a 12-inch bubble. And no one took it out, and I just was running through things because they have no wards. Like, not having wards in this game is real bad. It's real bad.
Super good.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking at you, trolls.
yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, Wind Chargers are super good. You take 10 of these guys, man, 30 shots without wards is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Mhm.
Pretty good. And they're
I
still
like
fast, by the way. They're still
Yeah.
14-inch move.
Stone Guard, I think, are going to be undervalued by a lot of people. I feel like you can send them on a point, give them that 5-up ward, and they can just sit there for a while.
Yeah. Like they're surprisingly tanky.
How much are they? 130 points? Yeah, man. 130 points
Yeah.
are pretty
Yeah.
good.
260
Yeah, I like the Stoker.
points. Put them down on the field. Thankfully, you can put them up to 8 inches. 8-inch movement.
And you
And they
just sit
just
them on a point.
Sit there on a point.
Would you rather?
and-
Okay,
And
so
they
how about
ignore
this?
rend.
Would you rather have? Because they're kind of doing the same purpose. Would you rather have Stone Guard or would you rather have Wardens? How much are Wardens?
For the number of bodies, I'd rather have Wardens.
And
Well,
that-
and Wardens
that's-
can get the -1 to hit.
and
That's the other thing.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I probably would take Wardens over the Stone Guard, to be honest.
Yeah, I can
The
agree
Stone
with
Guard's
that.
going to have they have a higher damage output. Like, that's just going to be...
True.
Hey, this is where it goes. If you're going to be taking Spirits of the Mountain and doing all that, I'd probably go Stone Guard
True.
just because they have a lot more
True.
synergy with each other.
Yep.
But if you're going to be not taking it, just do Wardens
Yeah,
all the time.
Wardens, yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. I agree. 100%. Okay, cool. That's pretty. I mean, the biggest one winners in my mind on this list are the Wind Chargers. I just really like them. I really like the Wind
Yeah.
Chargers.
Agreed.
Cool. Then we get into the Spirit of the Wind and the River Blades. What do you guys think of the River Blades, the new warband thing?
I think there's better stuff at their points. I think people
140.
take like 1, maybe 2.
It's kind of cool. They've got the free teleport thing, which is nice.
But like as we said, teleports, why need it when you can just move?
Yeah, true.
I think they have a use for a big disruptor because of their free movement.
the combat
like-
movement.
Yeah.
It is
What you do is you put
2d6 though.
you put this into a unit, and then you immediately move into a infantry hero, and you kill it, because they will kill it.
Yeah. Well, it's more than that.
You also have
'cause-
to make sure you roll enough.
Yeah,
That's the
2d6.
problem.
Here's the thing: like, it doesn't say you have to be in combat to use
Yeah.
this ability.
You have to end the move in combat.
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
I'm just going to run them out of 6 or whatever I want, 13 inches,
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even
and
think about them not being
I
in
j-
combat.
I
I guess you
will
could move them just out of combat.
yeah, I will automatically make my charge because I just need to end within 3 inches of you. I don't need to end
Yeah.
within half an
Yeah, that's a
inch.
good point.
That's true.
It's just a better charge.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, for 140 points, man, I'm probably bringing them.
Yeah, they're anti-hero +1 rend, so yeah, they can
They're
definitely pick off
great.
smaller
Like, I just think of
characters.
myself like moving them into a unit. I'd start a combat, before obviously fighting, roll 2d6 and move them directly into an infantry hero and just annihilate it.
Yeah, the more I see these guys, they're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because there's 10 of them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which means there's 20 attacks at range. Then there's
30.
21 attacks.
30
at range.
30
for the
attacks.
melee
And then
attacks.
31 in melee.
31 anti-hero.
That's pretty good,
For-
man.
Yep.
Only 140
40
points.
points. I'm probably bringing one of these. Probably.
Also, you can use them to quote unquote charge during your opponent's turn without the 2 command points.
True.
The only thing I see as being a downside to them though is that they don't the facets of war, the main thing, they can't get -1 to hit. They can't
Yeah.
get
True.
move and
True.
shoot type deal. They can't get any of those buffs that the army
Oh.
provides.
They're not getting anything the army.
Yeah, they're
provides.
getting nothing.
Yeah, they're getting nothing.
So that you just use them for for me.
Yeah,
I'm using them
Yeah.
for an infantry hero killer. That's it.
You have to
Yeah.
go in with the mindset of these will probably just die. I don't care.
And honestly, I think
They'll die from a stiff breeze.
most opponents, when they actually do get into the infantry heroes, would be like, "Fuck, I got to really deal with these guys now." Like they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
obnoxious. And then let's talk about. The only reason I marked the terrain as S is because you're gonna take them and they're free anyway. But the shrine, Jesus Christ! Now this thing can fucking move. Seriously?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so
Oh
stupid.
my God.
It's so good.
It's really good, but like now you got to deal with like moving this stupid thing. So yeah, it's good. You get a bunch of buffs when the thing's on it. What do you get? You get a
It's one of like 2 or 3. It's
You
like
get to
one of-
reroll cast rolls.
It's
Okay.
like one of 3 terrain pieces that you put a hero on. And the best thing is that you just can't kill that hero
Yeah.
until you kill the
yeah.
terrain.
Another one is Flesh Eater. You put that little goober in
It's
the,
tanky.
in the
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
throne thing, and all the damage goes to the throne. So your dude just sits in there and he's totally fine.
Yep.
So
Maw Pit, same thing.
12 wounds, 3 up save.
yeah, dude.
God,
Whew.
that's so tanky.
It is.
Whew.
Yeah, it's Lumineth, man. Come on now. You can't have Lumineth without the best terrain feature. I will say the terrain feature is beautiful, though. I love that.
I mean,
terrain
it feels like a reward if you actually build and paint that.
feature. That's true.
Yeah.
That is a good point. That is a very good point.
I'm always worried about breaking it.
Oh my god, it's such a cool terrain feature, though. Oh,
Yeah.
that is one of the best. That might be the best terrain feature, I think. Slanesh is also a good follow up on that. I do like the.
I like the Maw Pit.
I
Maw
like the
Pit's good
move.
too. Maw Pit, dude. We won't even wait till we get to Maw Pit. Oh my god, that thing is.
That thing's
stupid.
big. I thought it
Well,
was. It's way
And
bigger
it
than I
does
thought it
like
would be.
800
Yeah,
mortal
it
wounds
is.
a game, so it's like it's so crazy, that thing. Okay, cool. Regiments of Renown. Not taking
You're
any of these
You're never gonna take
Yeah.
anything. Why
because
would
you
take
have
that?
everything.
Yeah.
Black Talons maybe, but 320 points you need that, so not taking any. of these.
Also, her wind chargers into Gotrek just feels so bad turning off his ward.
Gotrek is just bad now. He's just bad. He's just bad. That poor
Giltric's so
soul.
bad.
Okay. All right. So overall, both me and Cameron marked this as an S minus. I think this is by miles the best Order army. And I don't think it's
Yeah.
close. I think they're just super
I
good.
can agree to that. It's so bad.
Again, I hate the lack of creativity for the battle formations. It's the worst thing I hate in the book. Lots of spread mortal wound abilities. There's so many wizards. I think they're probably the best casters in the game.
It's a cookie cutter army. You just you plop stuff in, you get your buffs and stuff, and then you just win the game.
And again, lots of great choices. It's really tough for me to make a list with everything that I want.
Yeah.
This army is extremely good. I really wish I had a Lumineth army. So if you're
I think
watching
they've-
this, and have a fully painted Lumineth army that you want to sell, hit me up.
They've won most of the tournaments that I've seen so far.
They're
too.
really good. They're really good.
I would say that like their stuff is expensive, but then I'll just compare their stuff to everything else,
And
and
it's
it's just
just
like
not.
never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I can't believe
It's
Dawn
fun.
Riders are 210 points, man. Like, what travesty
gross.
is that?
Yeah.
All right, I bet they're going to go up to like 250.
240. I would see probably 240. At 480, you're getting that's a real big investment, especially if you're doing 2 packs of them.
Yeah.
That's half your army.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
if
so
you're an army
good.
that has anti-cavalry, you have to bring it. Because you know there's going to be a Lumineth player. They're going to have Dawn Riders.
Well, think about all of the cavalry is winning
yeah,
tournaments
cavalry
right
in
now.
general, too.
Hex
Oh, yeah.
Race, OBR Death Knights, Dawn
Yep.
Riders, everything for Cav.
Black Knights, too.
Black
Yeah,
Knights, yeah.
it's just just
Vanguard.
so good.
Cool. All right. So Zach, anything else for summary
Not
overall?
Blood Knights, though.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I will say that I absolutely love about Lumineth, it is still a complicated and hard to master army.
Mhm.
Yes, the battle formations, as you said, are a little uncreative. They've made certain things simpler to understand, but I feel like they lowered the floor for getting into the army
100%.
and maxed out that ceiling. Because
I couldn't agree with you more.
I love it. Like that's one of the best things about it.
One of the reasons I didn't have Lumineth back in 3rd edition is because they were so fucking complicated.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to think through all that. It was just so much. And with this index, man, they simplified the hell out of it. Like, it is way easier to get into now. I could not agree more with you. Like that.
But if you make a mistake, your opponent can punish that. Yeah, if you have a
Yeah.
block of 10 Dawn Riders,
Yeah.
that's 30 wounds. But don't put them out of position because then they're going to get trapped.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Cameron.
Their stonks go high. I think they're reading most things in. After reading most of the factions here, I could put this as probably like the strongest battle tome out of all of them currently. However, I will bring that with a caveat, and that goes prepare for nerfs.
FAQs, yeah, FAQs.
Yeah,
and
prepare for nerfs,
Yeah.
prepare for FAQs, because I feel like they are an army that is very much taking advantage of
100%. Yeah,
of all the things
Yeah.
going on right now,
I agree.
and
I agree.
things will change.
Henry.
I think if you take any competent Warhammer player and you give them Lumineth, they're going to perform.
Agreed. Yep.
That's just how it is. They're easier to pick up, and if you just know how to play the game, you know not to make those mistakes, like Zach said, of leaving Dawn Riders out of position, and then you just can win.
Yeah, and also, how do none of our club members? How does no one from House of Hobbies have a painted Lumineth army? I am disappointed.
Because we like to play bad stuff.
I am disappointed in all of you.
I will tell you exactly why. I have played Lumineth. I played Lumineth once, and every single time in 3rd edition I played Lumineth, I felt dirty. And so I thought,
Yeah, they are.
Rats just
they are
make me
pretty-
feel good.
3rd edition, they were super oppressive, man. It felt real bad. The first
Yeah.
time I played Doug with the techless list,
Oh my god.
I just was like, I don't like this army at all.
Doug's
Like, this is-
crazy
This
with
this this army is awful. This is such an awful army to play against. Like, it was so terrible.
I love winning like as much as the next guy, but if an army I play makes me feel dirty for playing it, I'm
I
not
go
going to
take
play
a
it.
shower afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so definitely S minus for sure. This is an easy 5-0 for tournaments, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into something that's not S tier. All right, so and you know it maybe just be me. I played a little bit of Seraphon in 3rd edition. I'm super bummed about the Seraphon book. So just as our overview, relatively the same flavors here. So you kind of have the magic and the like big monster mash type of deal. It is easier to mix and match, and I think honestly you have to now. I think the days of the Croak magic,
Croak annihilation.
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
I think those days are gone. I do not think you're going to be able to get enough through.
I think you can still do Monster Mash.
Monster
I'm
Mash,
pretty
yes,
sure.
yes, but I think the days of the magic Croak are over.
Yeah.
Very swingy attacks in this book. Very swingy attacks. And decent for scoring battle tactics and getting objectives. There are quick units in here. The Cav is, I think,
Really good.
I think the Cav is probably the reason Seraphon will do well is because of like aggrodon spam and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my overview. From a magic perspective and a summoning perspective, they are no longer what they used to be. So, Zach,
So, yeah,
what
go
are your
ahead,
thoughts?
Zach.
I am not too familiar with a lot of their Warscrolls, but overall, I'm really upset with the battle traits. Like they're cool battle traits, but they're one of the only armies that have conditions
And we'll
to
get there.
actually
We'll
getting
get
their
there.
battle. Yeah, it's just one of the things. Overall, I was just kind of like, I just wanted there to be a bit more for them.
Cameron?
So, I think that this army, and we'll go over it more in detail, has a problem of having very expensive scrolls, but very good scrolls.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it requires you to play a lot different than what was previously like
Yeah.
the mainstay. Previously, the mainstay, as we said, was just like croak bombing things,
Yeah.
spellcasting.
Starborn's fan.
Yeah, go ahead, do skinks to go ahead and just go ahead and tar pit things,
Yep,
block
screen, yep.
movement, screening, and then your magic kills everything. And now it plays so much different because there's now not that like a magic attack that they had. They don't have that firepower like they did before, and it requires you to do other things. And I think that all in all, the army can be very good. It has some very good stuff. It's just it plays so much different from what
Than it
people
used to.
are used to.
100%. Henry?
I'm a little bit higher on Seraphon. I
Yeah.
think I think they became a really flexible army, mostly because of their battle traits. They happen in the deployment phase, so you can wait until you see what you're up against
Yeah,
to kind of
I do
pick
like
like,
that. Yeah.
do I need more move? Do I want to hit people harder? And then most of them to get that second battle trait at the third round, it's not that hard to get.
I disagree.
But
All right,
for
since
some
we're
of them, a couple
already,
of them
since
it is.
Henry already brought up the battle tactics, we'll just get there, or battle traits, we'll get there. I think the passives that you get at the beginning of the round, I do like that you get to pick them in deployment zone or deployment, which is good. And I think they're all very good in their own ways. I really dislike the further the great plan where you get to pick another one in the third battle round. I think it's really tough. I think one of these might be doable. I think most of them will not be.
I kind of disagree with that.
I don't know.
Teapot, pretty easy. Itzel is fine, depending on your list.
Yeah, depending on your list, sure.
But like,
No
it's
enemy
very
units
flexible.
wholly within your friendly territory in battle round 3, not happening. Most likely.
The general in combat, that will most likely happen.
Or has not been destroyed. Or
The
has
enemy
been
general
destroyed.
is
Oh no,
If
I
it's
don't.
in combat or has
I don't
been
know, man.
destroyed.
I don't know. Maybe, depending on the
So
army you're
like
playing.
the turn before you charge the general with a tanky unit, it lives. Then start a battle round 3, you get the second one.
I think the easiest one is Itzel, but like you really have to like go for the planning of doing one
Right,
of
you
these.
really gotta like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
really have to push to get it, and is that what you want to do? Right, like.
But
Where
you
are
get
your
to pick
priorities?
dependent on the game. So if I'm against Gargants, I know I'm not going to kill 3 units by turn 3 most likely. So I just pick the +1 to cast, and hey, my Slan's alive. I get a second one now.
Yeah, but would you rather have the companion weapons have 2 crits? Right? Like,
It just puts you in a weird spot
does.
where
It does.
you want like
It
companion
lets you plan
weapons
your
having
game
crit
out.
2
Look
hits
at-
is great.
and again, my thing is, look at the rest of the battle traits for most of the books. You just get the ability. You don't have to play a mini game
Yeah.
in order to get another one. And to be fair, like, yeah, the passes are good, but are they that good that you have to wait till battle round 3 to do a mini game to get another one?
I'd also kind of just be happy with taking one.
No, and me too. I do too. I just
So
This
that's
would
why
have been
it's like
fine.
it's fine taking one,
This-
and then if I get the second one, that's cool.
Right. And this would have been fine had they just not put Further the Great Plan in there. Right? If
Yeah.
they just would have taken it out, I probably wouldn't have any issue with that. But they put that in, and it's like, now I got to play a mini game in order to get that stupid one. They should have just taken it out.
They did the exact opposite of what they did with Lumineth, which
Yes.
was
Yeah,
Instead of having
basically.
one, you can have two for free. This,
they just
can have
made it
one.
more complicated.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny that we did these back to back, but yeah, it's hilarious, the difference between the two, for sure.
And honestly, and this is kind of something that threw me off my first time reading it. It's not. My first impression of this was, oh, this is the quest I have to complete to get that one. But that's not the case. It's whichever one I picked, I have to complete that quest to get a second one.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
I'd
that-
almost prefer just having to do a quest to, kill 3 more enemies and I get the Itzel one,
Or maybe it's buffed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was originally too.
That me too.
Yeah.
And then I had to read it like 3 more times, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I just get one.
And I would almost have liked that more than what it is.
Agreed.
Because I'm not
100%.
locked into one game plan.
True.
I could be
that's
like,
true.
well, I don't need Tipak, so I don't care about that. Or like, I don't need Itzel, so I don't need to worry about killing units. I can go more for board control. Things like that.
or
Whereas,
make them easier. Make them
Yeah.
a little easier. I just
Yeah.
think some of these, maybe instead
I mean,
of
that
3
this
or
could
more
get
units, you do
FAQ
2 or
to make them
more.
easier.
Like, they're just tough. I don't like.
And
I
the
don't like
friendly battle territory one for Quetzal, that's so battle plan dependent.
them. That's true too. That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
And
A lot of
as Henry
If
said,
you had to
you
pick-
could choose these at the beginning of the game, not like part of your
Yeah.
faction.
Which
So
is
If
you
it was
can
part of your
choose
army list, that'd be awful.
100%.
Oh yeah.
That
You'd
is
go
so
straight to
bad.
like F tier.
I will say Games Workshop has done a really good job about, like, even with the honor guard system, like picking it in the deployment, trying to figure out what the best is. And they nailed it out of the park with that. Like, very few things you have to pick at the faction when you're creating your army builder, right? Like, they did a really good job on
Agreed.
that. So
Yeah.
All right, let's stop talking
Yeah.
about these battle traits.
right.
Battle formations. These are
I-
actually all pretty decent.
I completely disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
There is one of these guys, which is the bane of my existence in 4th edition, and I hate its concept. I hate the way it's worded. I hate everything about it.
Which one is
And
it?
it is the Eternal Star Host.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
swingy teleport one. I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Now, there's something you're forgetting, that this is a core ability, which means
Yep.
if you fail
Oh,
that
yeah, we were
teleport,
talking
you
about
don't,
this.
You can't
Oh,
move.
don't
yeah,
get to
yeah.
move.
Yep.
Yep, you can't move. Yes. That makes
you-
this
do you-
so much worse.
Do you want to attempt to teleport?
Yeah.
Oh, if you fail the teleport, you still have to do all the rules of a normal 9
Yeah.
teleport.
Yeah.
But if you fail, you just don't get to do anything this turn.
You 100% just take Shadow Striker Sunclaw. Unless you're going Monster Mash, but
Yeah,
And that's
the other
exactly
ones-
what I put on here. That's exactly what I put. Eternal Star Host needs to go down to a C. I 100% agree with you, Cameron. It is so
Yeah.
bad. On a 3-up. Like, it'd be different if it just was a free teleport, right? Like,
Yeah,
sure, I
and-
might take it then.
I don't get why they didn't make it a core. Or sorry, I don't know why they gave it a core,
I don't-
because we already have in the rules that if you teleport, you can't move.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an
So-
FAQ. Maybe it's an oversight. They just didn't think about it. I don't know. It is
Because
weird
I'll
that they put core there. I don't know.
There's like 1 or 2 other people that have this ability. One of them is the Vampire Lord for Soul Blight, and I hate it. Is one of my most hated abilities in this entire edition.
It is funny too. I should bring up the Sunclaw Star Host. Is funny because Doc has the exact same ability, only Doc's is worse.
and Pestilence is better.
This one
Yeah.
you pick up to 3, whereas Doc you only do it on 1. So it's the exact same ability, except this one you get to pick 3, which is
And they have to be in combat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the writers love this ability because like Soul Blight has it. There's a lot of factions. That have
Yeah.
it.
okay. Well, I mean, and again, I've only done the Order faction, so I've only seen it from Doc.
Yeah.
But
So Skavens is you pick 3 Pestilence units. They don't have to be in combat, and they just get to do the same thing.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, which I wonder if that's also an FAQ they just forgot, because every single other one they have to be in combat.
I
to
hope
do it.
not.
Which is, honestly, it is a really good ability though. Erica used it for Doc against me, and it was annoying. It was very annoying.
2d3 mortals per turn
Well, for this, sure, but she only got
for
one.
each.
Because
Yeah.
remember, for Doc, you only get to do this on one unit,
Yeah.
which is weird. They couldn't even be like the same on this ability. Come on, guys. Anything else on the battle formations?
All the
I
one
think they're all
except for
solid.
Eternal Star Host are good.
I
Yeah.
think all of them solid except for the
Yeah.
Eternal Star Host. That one is.
I
just
really
gonna
like Shadow Strike because it's infantry or cavalry, so you don't have to. So if you're only taking 2 cavalry skinks, then and they die, you're not like screwed out of your battle formation.
True.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like all of them are decent. I think most people are going to play the Sunclaw just because it's free damage,
agree.
but
Yep.
I like the Thunderquake Star Host because your monsters, some of them are already very hard to get rid of.
Oh yeah, Bastillodons. Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Heroic traits are very good. I liked all of them. I thought they were all really good. Free all out attack, pretty good. These are all passive. There's no once per battle.
Yeah.
Beastmaster's really good. And then Being of the Stars is pretty good. But the one problem with Being of the Stars is I'm not sure who you're putting this on. Most of the saves that you have are 5s up anyway, so like.
I think you just put it on the Carnosaur.
Yeah, with a 4-up.
Yeah, with a 4-up.
Sure. I mean, that's probably your only thing you're putting it on, though. Everything else is really bad.
And even then, the other 2 are kind of better, anyways.
Yeah, so I think the other 2 are pretty good. The all-out attack is the one that I'm picking, probably. Command points are really good.
For me,
I think it depends on your list.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, I picked Beastmaster.
Yeah, it's good too.
Because Agrodon's getting +2 move.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of spicy.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And then mix that with the battle trait of giving +2 moves, so now you're just giving most of your army +4 inches to their movement.
I will say most of this book is on 4-up hit, so like the all-out attack is really nice, but I could go either one, depending on your list.
I'm used to having a 4-up hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ogre over there. And what aren't rockets also 4-up?
Yeah, rockets and ogres are the same, 4s and 2s.
You and your 4-ups, get out of here. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Artifacts.
I think artifacts are a miss.
Familiar's garbage.
Yep.
Real garbage. Once per battle, D6 cast. Why do they do that? Anyway, we're moving on. And then the only one I would pick is I said the Incandescent was really good. Was it heal D3 to this unit? I think that's fine.
Yeah, like
Every hero phase.
Out of all of this, like that one is pretty good. It's just your monsters usually have your monstrous heroes usually have high amounts of health in the first place, and not that high of like defense, like 4-ups, so like on average.
5-ups, 4-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're getting healing constantly, and like you will get use out of that.
I think the blood rage, the +1 to attack stuff is a trap. I think your stuff's probably going to be dead. If they want it dead, it's going to die, and you're never going to use it. So it's like great.
The problem is all your damage comes from companion attacks.
True.
For most of your
True.
guys.
Yeah, that's a good
And that's
point.
not affecting that.
Yep, that's a good point. It's a very good point.
I think between the artifacts and the hero traits, they kind of said, hey, if you're taking a slam, don't put anything on him because it's not really worth it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these seem more geared towards the melee monster mash heroes.
Starvet on Agrodon would love all of these.
Yeah. I think the entire book is based on trying to get people to stop using slants and crow.
Well,
they're paying for their sins.
Yeah, they are definitely paying for what they did in the past.
Every summoning army had its identity changed.
Mm-hmm.
Seraphon are just happen to be one of the victims of that. Not being able to summon weakened the Salon side of it. So they make up for it by buffing up the Thunder Lizards.
And getting rid of the magic stuff.
Yeah.
This is, I think, one of the 2 factions that's got 2 spell lords.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have 2 spell lords. One of them is kind of more monster mash. Well, not monster mash. I guess different strokes for different folks here for their spell lords. As far as the heavy wizard one, Speed of Hanji is by miles the best one.
Yep.
It's not even a question. Run and charge / shoot.
Yeah, this.
Uh,
Yeah.
Mystical and foraging on all of your Source Warriors.
yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Subtract one from Ren. That's the unlimited one.
Oh, you have to pick an enemy unit. Oh,
Yeah.
That's the
Within
problem.
12.
It's 12 inches.
so short
you're
range.
putting your wizard in bad situations in order to get that off. Now,
Yeah.
with the Arcane Vassal from the Slam Masters, you're probably doing this through like a Troglodon or something similar to that. So
well, you might as well have the Troglodon cast that too then.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're
Like-
gonna get pluses. You're gonna get more pluses for the other guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, it's a short range, and you have to pick a enemy. That's why it's meh. Comet's Call is your typical horde spell, but I mean, obviously, Speed of Hanji is the best one here.
Yeah.
The change to Comet's Call feels so bad.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
not like it used to be. That's for sure.
Oh,
It's,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's your typical horde spell that everyone has now.
yeah.
I have a feeling that they were really afraid people without bravery, they're going to be like, oh man, people are going to start taking 40 packs of infantry all the time, and so they just gave everybody an
Yes.
infantry
Yep,
clear,
Yep. Well,
And then
without
they're
Battle
like-
Shock, yeah.
Well,
and they're like,
Even
oh hey, we need
still-
to we have all this infantry, we need like the counter of infantry, so let's make all of the cavalry better.
Yeah.
And so they just kept on hitting infantry again and again and making everything that's not infantry
Yeah.
better and
Yeah.
better.
But even with horde
It's just funny.
clears, it's kind of like, okay, I lose a couple guys, whatever. I still have 38 more now
And
that
honestly,
don't
you can
die,
just
that
rally-
don't run
You
away.
can just rally them back next turn anyway, like for the most
Exactly.
part. So it's like, meh.
I just find it very funny.
Problem is, it's no longer. I honestly thought it was going to be more of a horde meta, and I am completely wrong. It is definitely more of a cavalry meta now. So,
Yep.
which yay.
I-
Spell lore for the jungles one. The unlimited one is the heal,
The heal.
but it's super swingy.
You're basically like,
I love
it's like you're rallying a unit.
I love the healing for it because it's just like, all right, it's only going to be good on big guys,
Yes, like your
and you will
Carnosaurs.
on average always just heal half as much damage as they are.
Yeah.
I guess the good
It's
thing is
Which is fine.
The good thing is you can rally and heal, and you could potentially get a lot of health back
Well-
on something.
Well, so you can do the light of Chotek, and then after that you do the D3 heal from the artifact.
and then rally,
And then rally.
and then,
and then
you're-
you rally.
then it's back up to full, baby. That being
Yeah.
said, there's nothing in this book. I mean, other than like what Bastillodons, but there's nothing in this index that's like super hard to kill. Like if you want something
Yeah.
to die in this army, it's gonna die.
Yeah.
I do like Empowered Celestite though.
I do too. It's my favorite one on here.
Plus
Um,
one rend on like Agrodons.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any Saurus unit wholly within 12 plus 1 rend. All right, you're going to take that every time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I wish it was unlimited, but it'd be too good.
And then the Earth Trembles is a
It's okay.
damaging
It's
spell.
It's a niche damage spell.
Yep, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not.
You can maybe get a second unit.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're just hitting one or your own.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna screen yourself too. That's the other hard part. Is that you're screening your own wizards, and now you're gonna hit your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever you can damage your own units, it's like, no, I'm good.
Just roll a 1. Easy.
Yeah, just
So,
roll one, it's fine.
This is something that should never happen, but it's they got rid. I don't know if there's a rule for what a straight line is. Because before they always
Is it
said
just a
draw
straight
a
line,
line that
Cameron?
draw a line
Yeah, it's
is
like a 1 millimeter line.
1 millimeter, but they got rid of the 1 millimeter. So it's
So
just
can it be like
oh,
a 5 inch?
Here's my 1
straight
foot
line?
long line.
Yeah.
1 foot wide. It's board wide. It's board wide.
It's 18
it's
inches
18
long,
inches.
60 inches wide. It is a straight line, just not the way you think it is.
All right, moving on. All right, let's get into the Warscrolls because they have no manifestations. Because why would they?
Yep.
Okay, so all of these are pretty good, right? Like, don't get me wrong. The Croak is still really good. He is still
Yeah.
really, really good. The issue
He's
is
a 4-up lord.
yeah, no, he's really good, and he's
Oh, yeah.
basically healing everything. Like your chances are you're not killing him.
Yeah.
My issue with a lot of the spellcasters is they're doing they're not doing what they used to do, right? Where they were doing a lot of mortal wounds in areas. Right now, you're not doing that anymore. You're just not. You don't have enough to really kill things that way.
Yeah, because isn't
Yeah.
Croak like the only one with an actual damaging spell?
Yeah, he kept the same spell, but the buff to the range of it no longer exists.
Well, yeah, and then also it doesn't. You don't have to. It's always on a 7 instead of it going up, right?
Well, that last edition it was always on a 7 still.
Oh, was it? They didn't have it go
Yeah.
up every like 2 or a 1 cast.
No, that was
cast?
that was second edition.
Got it. What else?
So like, you could do a crap ton of damage with him, but like, it's
His
so much
game-
harder to do it now.
I think you will see Slan in pretty much every list. I do think you will. See
Oh, yeah.
he will be in pretty much every list because of the
I think the
basically
slan's
summoning.
just a tax you have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way you're getting things back, right? So and there's no keyword on this either. So
It's a 3 caster, so it'll cast all of your manifestations,
Yeah,
like
it's
most of
a-
your morbid conjuration.
It's a 3 cast for 280 points that can cast through people,
and get dudes back,
and gets people back.
and you can
every
get your
turn.
Agrodons back with this too,
Yeah,
which is really good.
Yep.
Like that's such a good unit.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you're,
think
you're,
you-
you're gonna take it every time.
Yeah, he's an auto.
I think you either take a slan by itself or you take a couple skink wizards. I don't think you do both just because of the points.
I'm definitely putting Star Master in every one of my Seraphon lists.
Starmaster's really good.
Yeah. I think Star Master's pretty much like almost an auto include with any variation of Seraphon.
I agree. I 100% agree. That Celestial Reinforcements is just, it's really good. It's just really good.
Yeah.
I know it's still on a 4-up, but I'll take that 4-up any day, right?
Yeah.
Um,
The skink.
And there's only a
Oracle.
few units you care
he's
about.
way overcosted, dude.
Yeah.
All right, I do agree that he's a little bit overcosted,
He is.
but you can give him the heal in the hero phase, and then he heals
Sure.
in the end phase, and so you're healing 2d3 every.
Sure,
turn.
but he's gonna be
It's-
dead because anything that gets into him is just gone. Like, just
Yeah.
gonna evaporate,
His-
dude.
Like,
You maybe get his -1 to hit in combat, not just an aura now, too.
His attacks are awful
Yeah.
too. You'll never use him as an attacking.
why did we make this standard where monsters or monstrous people are always 4-up to hit, 2-up to wound, and then we just not give it to the skink oracle who's a 4-up to hit but a 3-up to wound?
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know. One of the biggest downsides of this book is the Skink Oracle. It's just not good.
It's not even like the monster's 3 to wound. That's the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't care that the skink's 4s and 4s, but the monster's 4s and 3s.
Yeah. It's
Just give
really
him the
bad.
3 to wound or the 2 to wound.
Yeah.
It's a freaking T-Rex, dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are we talking about right now?
I
Um,
can still see people taking him just so they can shoot through them.
Yes, that's
with
the
a-
only thing you're taking. You're
Yeah.
taking it
With a
for
slot.
I mean-
Arcane Vassal, and that's it. A 10-inch Arcane
He's just a
Vassal.
14 health roadblock at that point.
I just
Yeah,
for
he's
280
a 14
points, man,
health
I think
roadblock
someone's-
that will, if you don't kill him, he's just going to come back to full.
And
That's
to
all
be
he is.
fair, the big thing that I really do like about the Skink Oracle though is this rampage. You throw him up front with your Agrodons, and you're gonna hand out -1 to hits.
Well,
Yeah, he's not very survivable, but if you're going into like an
Yeah.
anvil or a hammer unit, it's
you're
going
buying by taking him. You're buying a second slam. That's what you have to think about.
Well, would you
Well,
rather have this
you
or
only
more
have
Agrodon Riders?
Agrodons. You
Yeah.
always just take more.
Yeah,
Agrodons.
that's where I'm at right now. I do agree with you, Zach. I do agree. I think the
Yeah.
-1 to hit is good for 3 people. It's on a 3-up still, so meh.
On a
Yeah, it's
3-up,
still
you have to
swingy,
be in
but
combat
I think it's
range.
the best thing on this war scroll.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
too bad you're
Yeah,
paying 280
and it's the
points.
nerfed version of what it used to be.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The Carnosaur he's okay. He's fine. He's 330 points. He
He's
can,
great.
he
I-
can
he
hit like a
has-
truck. He can
He has
hit like
use.
a truck.
Like,
Yeah.
The +1,
300
the only reason I gave him an A- is because of the +1 to charge. Play with an 18. It's really good. That's really
Yeah.
good.
Like
Yeah.
he definitely has a use.
But
He's still a little bit expensive. He's a 4-up save, 14 wounds.
yeah, it's also not that many attacks that hit on that are 4s and 2s.
Yeah, but they're all 3 damage. Like,
Yeah,
and he can make him crits or 2 hits. Like,
only one rend on the 4 limbs. Like, it does. I don't get
Yeah.
that.
It's a
I feel like
T-Rex.
it should have been
guys.
2 and 3
I don't
instead of 1 and
understand.
2.
Like, guys, it's a T-Rex. Like, if you go up
Yeah.
against T-Rex, you're probably losing that battle. Maybe. I mean, I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite dude on this table is definitely the Scar Veteran. Obviously, used an auto-include if you're taking
Yep.
a bunch of Agrodons. In fact, I would take 2 of these guys. I think the buffing for the Rage...
It's once per battle army, so only one of them. You only get one.
Oh, okay. So maybe...
You still just take one.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe you just take one then. Yeah, no, you're
Take
right.
a Slan, you take an Agrodon, and then you just fill out the rest with Agrodon Lancers, and you've got a 2-drop.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you take one of them, but he's going to be an auto-include in Agrodon Lancer armies, so
Oh, yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on this?
All right. So I am very
Go ahead.
this is the Agrodon ability, and the Agrodon ability, I believe all of them have it, is the Primal Rage.
I know where
If
you're
this
I know
u-
where you're going with this, but yeah.
If
keep
they
going.
stay in combat.
If this unit fights, then you place a Rage token on it to a maximum of 3.
It's an ability
if
that
this
happens
unit-
after they fight.
Yep. If this unit did not use any fight abilities this turn, remove all Rage tokens
Correct.
it has. And then it goes on, add +1 to the attack characteristic of this unit's companion weapons for each Rage token it has until the end of the
Correct.
next turn.
So these guys
So-
have to live one fight in order to get their bonuses for the Rage.
Yep. And that also means that they only get the bonuses of Rage the next turn, not until your next turn.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the next turn. So you either have
So if they
to,
retreat or whatever, you have to countercharge.
you either have to countercharge, you have to retreat, like
Power
you have to
through.
hope for a double turn.
Power through is also really good.
Like
Yeah.
there's it's
Yeah.
it's very weird and awkward the way that they get their
And,
bonuses.
and this Rage mechanic was the same thing in 3rd edition, and I hated it in 3rd edition.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason I hated it. And we talked about it too, Cameron, in 3rd edition, where I was like, it's an effect that has to happen after you've already fought. So these guys have to stay in combat in order for this to happen, and I hated it.
And it goes with the Sar Scar veteran, his Alpha Roar. You place Rage tokens on them in the combat phase. However, if they didn't fight the last turn, you don't get the benefits of Rage.
Yeah, but you're popping this when this guy's in combat with a bunch of Agrodon Lancers. though.
Yeah.
So what it is you and a whole bunch of Agronauts go forward and fight. You charge and you fight. If you pop Alpha Roar, it will not do anything
It's till the next turn.
because the ability activates at the end of the turn. It doesn't matter how
Yep.
many, if you have a Rage token or not. The Rage token doesn't do anything.
Maybe that's an oversight. I don't think that's the way they wanted it.
Yeah, that's something that has to be FAQ'd. It should be a passive ability instead of an end of turn ability. I
Yeah,
think.
if they made it a passive, like they did the
Or
Primal
it's like
Rage-
2 separate things.
Yeah, and then they did a passive. They get +1 to their attack characteristic for raid.
No,
but the
no,
way-
no.
No, that
no,
doesn't.
it works.
that's-
No, it definitely
yeah,
works.
it works.
It definitely works. You add one of the attack characteristics of this unit's companion weapons for each Rage token. So you're doing that before they
It
fight.
has until the end of the turn, but you activate it at the end of the turn.
No. The Alpha Roar you're doing it before any combats.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the rage-
the Alpha
But
Roar
the
goes
Primal
first.
Rage doesn't come into effect until the end of the turn. Because
Yeah.
it's an end of turn trigger, not a passive ability.
So you go into combat.
Oh, I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. That's
Yeah.
so
Give everybody a
stupid.
rage, and
You're
then-
100% right. There needs to be one of two things to fix this. One, they just change Primal Rage to some passive ability and just reword it, or you do another ability and says for each like a passive for each Rage token is +1 to attack characters.
Yeah, I think you just split it. That's fine.
I think you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
split it.
But as it is worded right now,
Yeah, that's
if your
so
opponent
dumb,
knows
dude.
how to counter this, like you could just
Okay.
make sure that your opponent
Someone
will never get
that's
any
not
use of it.
not streaming. Someone go take a look if they changed that for OTTD. See if there's a FAQ for that. I'm curious
Yeah,
because
I'll
take a
look.
at it afterwards.
if you're taking a heavy Argonon list, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that kind of that the one list that we all I think agree that is really good from Seraphon
Agrodon spam.
doesn't work now. Like not to the same effect.
Yeah, dude, that's really bad.
what it is it's going to be if you double turn someone, you will win. If you don't double turn
You're
something, all
screwed.
of your abilities
It's
will
just gone. Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
There's
Yeah.
no FAQs for Seraphon.
Oh man.
There you go.
Okay. Well.
Yep.
That's a good call out, Cameron. It's a good call out. I thought that it would have triggered, but you're right. It doesn't happen. Primal Rage doesn't happen until end of any turn. That's crazy.
So we're all gonna ruin someone's day at Old Town. That's all I just heard.
Yep.
Yeah,
Basically.
that's unfortunate.
Whoever
That's
goes up
understandable.
against the Seraphon list,
Yeah.
we're just sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. This doesn't work that way. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bummer. All right, moving on.
You're welcome for everybody that.
Yeah, for real. If you're
this.
watching this before OTGD, which you should be,
I think you
Uh,
still just take Agrodon spam.
I do too.
Oh,
I still
Oh
think
yeah,
they're good.
100%.
They're
Even
still
with,
just a solid unit.
even
They just
without
don't-
the rage tokens, they're still good. But that is gross, man. That is rough.
Yeah. I wish
Um,
they did it like the Big Pigs momentum. I love that mechanic now.
Agreed.
Oh,
Right.
that would be a good mechanic for them. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next list here. Best one I had was Skink Star Priest. 110 points, dude.
Yeah, he's so cheap.
He's
He's 110 point.
110 points for a one caster. That
I mean, the Star Seer being a 2-caster
Yeah, the Star Seer is really nice.
yeah,
at
that's true, too.
150?
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
and he can turn off wards.
Yeah. What did I say for that? Oh, because it's on a 3-up, right?
Though the giving out the wards is, but I'm saying his built-in spell.
Oh, built-in spell. Yeah.
Yeah, his built-in spell is 7 to cast, 18-inch range,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
um,
It's pretty good.
no wards.
Yeah.
And then
pretty good.
he's able to, once per battle, give a 5-up ward to a Seraphon unit.
And what I like about that ability is you roll the dice before you pick what units get it. So if you don't say, "Oh, this unit's going to get a ward," and then
And
you
then you
miss the
roll.
dice, it doesn't get it.
Yeah.
And actually, it encourages you to use that ability later in the game because it's a roll a number of dice equal to the current battle
Yeah.
round, and then for each 3-up,
Well, it was
pick
like
each
that-
Seraphon unit.
It was like
It's
that
kinda-
last
yeah, it was
edition,
like
and
that
people
last
still
edition.
used it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
round 2
Yeah.
just to be like,
Which
"Oh,
is-
my 2 blocks don't have a 5-up ward now."
I
Right,
don't
but
like.
That's just a great round 2, round 3 ability.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like that ability. Because I roll like shit. But you guys know me.
It's wholly within 18 now instead of board wide, which is kind of
I mean, 18 is still
Whatever.
pretty good though.
yeah.
I'm not going to complain about an 18-inch range.
I mean, both those guys for 110 points for a one caster and 150 points for a two caster, pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cheap
they're
as
auto
chips.
wound on a 2-up is pretty nice.
Yeah.
They're like the cheapest thing in this entire book.
They're good. I hate the Pterodon Chief. No, it's gonna be a nope for me. Ripperdactyl.
Oh.
Okay, so we will get to Ripperdactyls in a second, Cameron, because I know that was one of your
Okay.
favorite units.
Okay.
But the Chief, no, it's gonna be a no. Stegodon Chief is okay. It's fine. It's fine.
What is the Pterodon? 150?
I like both the Chiefs just because
I
they're
don't.
14-inch flyers.
Yeah.
They get you take the flanks turn 1 really
So do
easily.
Terra Wings, and they're way
So do
cheaper.
Terra Wings.
And they're way
But
cheaper.
they're also beasts, so at least Pterodon Chiefs can also do something on an
Yeah,
objective.
true.
maybe.
That's a good point. Yeah. I'm not taking them on my list. I'm
For
not.
150, it's a tough call. But I
can
don't
also
think
take-
they're like horrible.
I could take Hanshi too. Like how much are the Hanshi dudes? Those guys are great.
Yeah, but you
Oh, yeah,
remember they can't be set up the turn you're doing the tactic.
Well, for some of them, right? For some of the battle tactics. For most of them, you can.
You can take terrain without
Correct.
while setting up.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
We're going to go over to Ripperdactyls later.
Yeah,
so
we will.
Yeah.
I'm actually with you on this, Cameron. I'm totally with you on that.
I love
Yeah,
Ripperdactyls.
we'll get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Sora's Astroloth Bear, way too expensive, I said. 150 points.
Which one is this?
The
It's
Astroloth
the
Bear.
hands out a ward now instead of giving +1 to cast and a ward.
Is he too?
Use the range extender guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
I don't know.
Now he
He's
just
not-
busts control score, which is
Yeah,
No,
I don't know,
it-
man.
he
I'm
wasn't
saying no.
auto-include in every single
He
one.
was.
Now he
was.
is not.
Yeah. no longer.
Yeah.
Scar Veteran Carnosaur. He's fine.
He's a cheap Carnosaur,
Yeah.
Yep.
He's fine.
cheap,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Yeah, 270. Yeah. And then Sora's Old Blood. That's gonna be a nope. It's gonna
Old
be
blood on foot,
absolutely nope.
snooze.
Yeah.
Pass.
Which sucks because the dude's so cool. I wish he had a fucking scroll that would be useful. So bad, man. It makes me sad. All right. Now we go into non-hero. Obviously, Agrodon Lancers are going to be the
Yes.
hammer of your book. You will take multiples of them, and they are very good.
From what I've seen, you can take, I think, with a Slan and a Scarvet, you can take like 21,
Jesus.
and then
Whew.
you just turn one, put them in Agrodon jail, and say try and chew through all this health.
They're 5 health apiece.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is.
it's-
Plus 1 damage on the charge.
Yeah, that's real good. It's real good. Threes, pretty good.
They're a unit that you're going to go ahead and you're going to reinforce every single one of them.
Mhm.
And then you, like you said, you're going to make that wall of 30 wounds for 420 points. Again, same amount of points as Dawn Riders.
Yep.
And you're going to go chew through me. If you don't, I'm going to come after you. Also, if you do not chew through me, all of my attacks increase.
Correct.
Yeah, I just kill you better now.
Yeah.
I do think
It's a very big
again.
risk
I know
reward.
we talked about the rage tokens and their downside of it, but they don't really need it.
No.
It's just
Well,
a
the
bonus
rage
if they get
token's
it.
nice because it compensates for any Agrodons that die during that first fight. These rage tokens compensate
True.
for the
And they
missing
can get
attack.
crit 2 hits.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
get
true.
crit 2 hits on
Yeah.
those companion weapons.
They are a
So
rend 2 to attack
Wait.
under companion.
they're just so
Is it on
versatile
companion?
because they can kill like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you're into Gargants? I get +1 rend now because I'm anti-monster.
Yeah, they're
And
real.
it's like,
they're
ugh.
they're scary for sure.
Yeah.
And they are 210 points.
Yep.
For
Yep.
I think 3 of them definitely
3 of them.
beats 5 Dawn Riders in a battle.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Really?
Yep, I disagree.
Yeah.
We'll have to test it out.
We can.
I
Actually,
feel
we
like the
can't,
Dawn
'cause no
Rider
one
just
has
has
it.
more buffs going for it. That's the
Correct.
thing to keep in mind.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, you give them +1 rend. You
Think of
with
it this
the
way: those
power-
Agrodon, those Talon bites are hitting on the 5s,
True.
Yeah, it's true.
and they have a better save, and they have just as many wounds as you, and
Yeah.
they have more attacks than you.
Yeah, I mean, they're those Dawn Raiders are crazy good, man. But I will say these are five health, so I mean they are. It's a lot.
They
to chew
power
through.
through really well.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
I think Source Warriors are too expensive. They're okay, but I would rather not. I'm probably taking.
Well, they went down in points from
Yeah.
last edition.
So this was the conversation we were having in our own Discord. if you
Yeah,
wish to
where I
join
put
us.
both of them in. I still
Yeah,
think I'm taking
is-
guard though.
Who would you rather have, Saurus Warriors or just a reinforced pack
Oh,
of
guard.
Saurus
Oh.
Guard?
Oh, I take guard every time.
Me too. That's where
I
I'm at.
think the Warriors definitely have a use if you reinforce.
They do.
them.
If you reinforce the warriors, they have a use. They're 22. That's 40 health right there, on a 3-up save most of the time because they'll be on an objective. If you don't put them on an objective, you're doing something wrong.
It's just that. Agreed. Those Saurus Guard,
Now you're
they can
21s
be
on a 3
so
up 5 up.
tanky.
Yep.
Actually,
Especially
Source
if you hit
Warriors
Islam.
Getting a ward. Ooh.
have to be
And they
wholly
can
on
get
the
2-up
objective.
save.
Correct. So getting 20 of them is going to be tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. I feel like it's gonna be hard to get 20 warriors
Yeah, I don't think
on
you can.
whole
I
objective.
actually.
I think
don't.
I'd rather spam out 10 blocks than reinforcing. But
I'm just
I
taking
do
the
think
guard though. Then at that point.
taking a block of 20 still does have a purpose.
Sure,
I think
Yeah.
the Guard is the winner,
I do too.
but
Oh,
I
yeah.
think a 20 pack of Warriors is a beautiful screen.
Yeah, I mean you're not
Yes.
getting through that
Okay.
anytime soon. That's for sure.
Exactly, and that's all you need.
And guard also do some damage.
Yeah, they've only got like 5 less attacks.
Well, I'm still taking the guard. I'm still
Yeah.
taking the
I'm taking guard all the time.
guard. Skinks are cheap.
There's no way for you to give them mortals on the shooting anymore, so now
Yeah.
they've lost
They're-
massive
Yeah,
stocks.
they're definitely not. As
I mean,
easy
they can redeploy nicely with 2d6 instead of 1.
Sure.
Cool.
Which it
They're
does
just solid
have
screens.
Yeah, they're
They
cheap.
definitely
cheap
have
as
their
chips.
uses.
Cheap as chips. Spawn's Chotek, meh.
It's the same as last edition. It's just
I
whatever.
think they have play. It's kind of.
I think
right.
I'd rather have 10 warriors for the same number of points.
Well,
Or
it's a,
Go 40 more and get an Agrodon unit.
Yeah.
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 You just take them to what is it?
Anti-inventory.
or- Yeah, were they the ones that get to lower saves? Yeah.
Yes, if
subtract
you
one
hit the
from
4
save.
up to hit.
Yeah. Like,
Attack 4 up to hit.
Yeah.
hey, it's a 4-up, and
Yeah,
if you hit that 4-up,
170
your
points,
entire
though, man.
army, your entire army gets +1
It's
rend.
170
Like,
points. I don't know.
agreed. Like, I agree.
It's
But
the way that its base is with, I don't know if how the tokens work, but it used to be pretty decent roadblock, but that was like the main use of it.
no, they're tokens, so they shouldn't block anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
is
Like,
so it got worse.
Agreed. They're just too expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this needs to be like 110 points.
I don't know
I can
about
see that.
110. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Like 140.
110 for a 50% of the time utility piece.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm just
Like,
passing on probably.
I can see that.
Yeah.
They're just way too expensive.
Now we get to the Raptidon and Haunchy dudes.
Hunters?
I'm gonna be
Not
honest.
bad.
I don't like Chargers. I'm probably fine with taking, but I don't like the way the Chargers and Hunters work. I just don't.
You just take the Chargers, I think.
That's where I'm at.
And then you take the Shadow Host to give them an extra D6 move.
You're playing too many mini games to get these guys to work together. I don't know. And honestly, I haven't used these guys in a game, so maybe it's a lot easier to do. But like, there's just too many stipulations to get their bonuses off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of the lists I've seen so far, they just take the Chargers. They don't even try to run the Hunters.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And it's a fast 12-inch move. It's got 3 health, so it can take a hit, but it's just there to like score you points. And then
But
it
they're
can clear out cheap infantry.
I can
Yeah.
see that. They're very cheap cavalry.
Yeah.
Very cheap cavalry.
Yeah, 140 points is pretty cheap for cavalry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And they're just a little techy. Like that's the thing. They each have an ability that affects the other.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not like a horrible synergy, but I definitely see that you could just straight up ignore it and just run Chargers.
15 wounds, that moves fast, fine with me.
That's true. I mean, yeah. That's kind of where I put them too. I just put the Chargers in.
Although the cold-blooded unity is just, I mean, I would argue just take 1 unit of the Hunters and then
Just
as
to see
many
if you
Chargers
could-
as you want.
Yeah, just to see if you could get the bonus off. Yeah.
Well, the
Well,
bonus
plus-
goes off. You just have to target.
You take the plus 2-inch move, they're 14-inch move base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your Chargers are getting +1 to hit against whatever the Hunters shot at, regardless of if they damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And you
So-
definitely need the +1 to hit for sure.
Yeah, so I think like 1 unit of Hunters plus as many Chargers as you feel comfortable taking. You're now getting like, yeah, so my Chargers are going to go in +1 to hit. Doesn't matter. Oh, they charge. I'm shooting at you now.
Yeah.
So I can shoot in the shooting phase and then shoot again in the charging phase. Target 2 different units, and now 2 units of Chargers
Or
have
+1
+1 to hit into
yeah.
those units.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're going that strat, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
I probably am I'm honestly probably just not taking either one of these and just putting more Acrodons in. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's...
That way I don't have to even play any games. I'm just going straight Agrodons.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else on these guys? Haunters of Haunchy are pretty good. The 90-point ones for 90 points, dude. Their little subtract 1
The
from
dark
the number of
types.
dice roll for charges is really
They're
good.
just so cheap.
It's really
Yeah.
good. I'm probably putting at least one of these in just for objective grabbers and that minus
Yep.
one of charges.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
they're a utility. They're a really cheap utility piece.
Yep.
Whenever most of this faction is just a little bit too expensive.
Yeah, it's like I could see 1 or 2 of the, like bringing 1 or 2 of them and just having them.
Yeah.
It's 2 battle tactics, potentially. You know, it's objective control, especially on some of these battle planes that have larger, further apart objectives.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I just don't see a downside. If you have the points, take them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super cheap, so. Cool. All right. Ripperdactyls. Cameron.
Before we go to Rivdactyl, we have the Terror Wings.
Yep.
And I love. Oh wait, so Terror Wings. It's something else I wasn't thinking about. Never mind. Meh.
Yeah, not Terror Wings. They're
Terror Wings or whatever.
They're
I
fine.
mean, you
If
can
you
maybe
want-
get the command thing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the Riperdactyls?
The beast score only one is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
All right, Riperdactyls.
All right.
These guys
Riperdactyls.
are.
These boys, I love
First
them.
off, before we go into this, keep in mind these Riperdactyls are 120 points.
Yep.
Okay.
They're so cheap.
They are extremely cheap for what they do.
Yep.
And so what you do, all right, so we're looking at, let's see, I'm going to get 2 reinforced packs of Riperdactyls.
So we're at 480 points.
480, and then we're going to take the hero, because, like, you
Yep.
have to take the hero.
Sure.
Yep,
That's
so it's
another
13
150.
models.
So that's what 630 points, and what I get for that are people, which I'm just going to let's just move them up to a 16-inch move. Not even that. We'll keep them at their only 14-inch move.
Yeah.
Their companion weapons will have crit times 2, and they'll go ahead and charge in. And I could choose 3 units, any 3 units I want at deployment phase, and they'll have a little blot toad on it. If I'm in combat with a blot toad, I get +1 to my companions. +1 to my companions' attacks. All my companions have plus crit times 2. Oh, my leader activates his ability. Now we have +1 to my actually normal guys on top attack. And so, like, they're just so fast.
Yep.
And their normal attacks is like, oh, if I get without buffs, it's 2 attacks at 4s.
Who cares about that?
Anti-cavalry
Let's
1.
go to the Tearing Jaws,
I
baby.
don't know. And then the Tearing Jaws normally just a 4/3 -1 2 damage on charge.
Now we're at 4 attacks each.
But now they're 4 attacks each, and they're 3 attacks on the top.
And the crit 2 hits.
You crit
Crit
2
2
hits. They're
hits.
14-inch movement. They're so fast. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
just rush in there,
4
and they just
attacks,
start
let's see.
ripping things apart.
There's
If
3
you have
of
a
them,
small
right?
hero, you no longer have a small hero.
Exactly.
Oh, dude, they can
Or
do
even
a
a
lot more.
screen.
No,
Yeah.
they can do a lot of damage to like a
Yeah.
monster even. Like
Yeah, Usharan could probably get taken out.
This 6-pack of Riperdactyl could probably kill like some Agrons.
what?
Like,
Because it's 24 attacks, 3s. Because you're obviously gonna all out attack here. 3s.
One,
minus
two.
Minus
2
1,
damage.
2 damage.
Crit 2
And
hits.
then
Crit 2 hits.
another, yeah, and then another 18 attacks.
They are
which is
gonna
another one? Like,
if you ignore these guys, they will absolutely destroy
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they get into.
and
And
that's
we're talking about
one
6
pack.
of them. Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah.
6 of them.
One pack of 240 points.
It's
You can
crazy.
turn 1, take the flanks. Turn 2, I charge all your heroes, and you have no more heroes.
Yep. I mean, these
Yeah,
guys are good,
exactly.
man. For 120 points, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, granted, who's got 12 Ripterdactyl riders? I don't. I think I have 3.
I
But if you
agree.
can make it happen,
What's his face from Strike Last?
if you yeah, if
Michael.
you- if
Michael
Yeah,
has
Michael.
for sure.
Yeah, if you have them, use them. I mean, what a crazy. That's really the only thing on this list that I even care about. I don't like the Bastildon Arc of Sotek. I don't like the Solar Engine.
Really?
I think they're okay. I think they're okay. I don't think they're.
love
I don't
the
think they're
Bastildon.
I think the
backbreaking.
Basodon's solid.
Arc of Sotek, 12 wounds, 2 up save, 20 attacks with crit mortal.
Yeah, maybe I'm
It just kind
not-
of sits there, and then you
Alright.
do the heal spell.
The Arc of Sotek
just ignoring
is
it, then.
so good.
It's insane.
I'm just ignoring it. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but it's on the objective.
Sure, and it'll stay there and not do anything.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay,
happened?
I've got a free objective for the whole game.
Sure, and I'm running around grabbing all the other objectives. I just don't. I don't know. I just.
Well, you take 2 or 3.
I don't know,
So for me, you only take 1 Arc of Sotek, because they are pretty. They're pretty expensive.
Was it 270? Yeah.
270.
But his major stonks, in my opinion, is the Arc of Sotek ability, where you could choose 3 enemy units and then do the D3 on 2 up does mortal wound.
Sure.
But it's a combat ability and happens every turn on any combat phase because it's this rampage.
Within 9 inches.
And I'm just way further than 9 inches. I'm literally just ignoring this thing.
Yeah, you can't stay away forever. Do you want to go to an objective? Like, I can make him 7 inches and I can run.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to attack you. Do you want to go into combat with me? All right,
I don't
I'm
know. I guess.
tanky as
Good luck
hell.
rolling.
Sure. I don't know.
like
I think
you
also
only take 1. but-
anything that's got crit mortal will just absolutely destroy this thing.
Oh yeah, it's fair. You know, Dawn Riders will kill everything, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Dawn Riders. That's like the peak of everything that we base everything.
That's just
off
the highlight, the MVP of
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel bad for Stegodons. They kind of got put into the ground a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they're good against screens and stuff. Sure.
If you take the Sunfire Thrower, but I think nobody.
I
took
will
that.
say, out of the Bastiladons, I don't know why the Solar Engine's 290. Maybe it's just because it's
Yeah,
shooting. I don't know.
They've been
It's-
afraid of the Solar Engine since second edition.
Well, it did damage
Yeah.
in second edition.
Yeah.
But boy, come on, guys! Like,
It has
I
just
think-
a worse horde clear than most other things in the game right now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really weird.
I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Ripperdactyls.
Ripperdactyls for the win.
I'm not taking an Archaeosotek because I'm just going to take more Ripperdactyls.
Okay, that's fair. But
Or more Agrodons.
Or more Agrodons, yeah. All right, moving on to the last part of this.
Engine
First
of
off,
the gods.
I
Ooh.
think the Realm Shaper engine is really good.
Oh yeah.
oh,
It
what
just
a
destroys.
a free terrain that can do amazing things.
Yeah, that can like
sure.
kill other terrain features. That's
Sure.
pretty good. It's pretty good. I definitely like it. Croxigors are great. They're just slow, but if you can get them up the board, they will wreck. Now, the problem I have with Croxigors is anything that fights first,
We'll kill them.
yeah, they're just dead. That's my biggest problem. There's a lot of strike first, so
Yeah.
it worries me that that's a trap unit. They look really good on paper, but boy, anything with
think-
strike first, they just get wrecked.
I think you take regular Croxigor, have them go blow up a screen. Like you don't even need like a reinforced one. You just take 3, you blow up a screen. They've done their job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think they're a little overcosted.
I agree.
At 220,
Now
that's
they will
more than 3 Agrodons.
they will destroy anything they get into though. Their damage
Yes.
is crazy high. But God, the porcupine strike first stuff that we have in this edition, it's real hard to take these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
where I'm at. Hey, they made the Engine of the Gods not as bad as third edition.
Eh,
It's still not good, but
it's still
it's
terrible.
still it's better than what it
All right.
was.
You say this, but I can definitely see a turn 2 just horrifying just attack.
With the
Because
engine?
yeah, because what happens is you take the engine and you take your very favorite Agron riders or whatever you want. Hell, go ahead and take 3 packs of reinforced Ripperdactyls. You'll be thanking me later. And you just first turn you go ahead and you just power reserve, and then second turn, depending on what you rolled on third, you go ahead and do it, and then you give all 3 of those, those Ripperdactyls whose only weakness is that they're extremely squishy, and you give them all strike first.
On a
If you-
5-up
Yeah,
with
but you have
1
to,
token.
Yeah, you have to roll it.
But do you not get to
Or-
keep the tokens?
No, it's you roll on you get rid of the tokens after you roll a dice.
Yeah. So first one you harness power.
Yep. So now it's a 5-up to get the strike first.
Oh, you only get 1 power token.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Never mind.
Yep. So you have to wait quite a
I stand
while
corrected.
before you get this.
And it's also on a Seraphon, which can get taken down if it feels like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was like a priest and you got to cape on adding it.
I
then
just
maybe
want the second edition Engine of the Gods.
I
again.
know, it was so good. Erica used it all the time.
It
The thing
like
was so
actually
tough.
did something.
And it was
It was
tough
like
to
a
kill.
screaming bell.
Yeah.
It like actually had fun abilities.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree, man. The Engine of the Gods was awesome back then. And they just destroyed it. They just literally took it out back and shot it in the head.
They just hate Stegodons.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Stegodons are still pretty good. What is it, Michael's lists with all the Stegodons? Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking
Like,
good.
Yeah.
Their shooting
they're-
attacks are crazy good.
right
Not
now.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. They're a lot worse.
Wait,
than they
what?
were.
What's their shooting attacks now? Let me.
Now
check.
it's damage 2 instead of damage 3 for the bow. It's still
Um,
3 attacks.
Yeah, those shooting attacks in third edition,
They w-
they
okay, they would
hit
know,
like
I
a
mean, the
truck.
Stegodons, I don't know.
They only have one rend on those bows. Even last edition, if you just had a good save, you just shrugged them off.
But saves are for most factions a lot lower.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
think you could still play Stegodons because they're 240
It's
points.
not bad.
I
It's not
mean,
bad.
if you're going Monster Mash, yeah, because they'll be 16 health now. They'll,
Yeah.
Well, you also
kinda
have
sit
they
there.
have multiple weapon. Like you're talking, just the vanilla Stegodon with anti-monster on one shooting attack, anti-infantry on a different one. The anti-infantry has crit 2 hits.
Yeah.
Yes,
On
but it's also
2d6.
2d6 attacks.
It's 2d6 attacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
mean-
the rampage for it. In the charge
Hmm.
phase,
Yeah,
do D3,
yeah.
then move 2d6.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're
Yep.
getting
Alright.
behind.
Good
things.
They said, hey, if here's the Stonehorn rampage, we're putting it on Stegodons now.
Yeah.
All right, and this comes to one of the biggest weaknesses I think of Seraphon, is that all of their rampages are once per turn army.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
if you
so
have
you can't use them
if
for
you-
multiple. Like Stegodon, like that does suck. Like if you take 3
If you
Stegodons,
have
use it
a-
once.
good rampage, sorry, you only get one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that is
And so you're going to take a Stegodon, and then a Stegodon Chief, and then Engine of God.
They just want you to throw like everything into one list, which
And-
no one's gonna do
Which is funny
because it's
because
not that
the
good.
only list that's doing well right now is a bunch of Agrodons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Big
Yeah.
shocker on that one.
They're like, oh, we don't like people who only do Starborn or only do the other one. I don't even know the other one's name because I never ran it. And they said, let's try and mush it together. And then it just did not work.
Yeah.
All right, Regiment of Renown. Only Black Talons I can see in this. Everything else is
Yeah.
You don't really need it.
Yeah, I can see
Well, I
that.
think Black Talon's is probably one of like the best order regiments
Yeah,
of Renown.
you can really
Yeah.
put that in most things and be
Agreed.
just fine.
Yeah,
You
The only
I-
one-
you could
it has a
easily put it.
good spot in almost every.
It's great in Ideneth. It's good here.
The only one I don't see it in, Lumineth.
Yeah. They
Fair.
don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need it.
Yeah.
Cool.
They have their own Black Talons, basically.
And so, like, you had to think: do you want to take the Black Talons, or do you want to take a Carnosaur as a chief?
Black
Or
Talons.
Black Talons.
Yeah. Do you want to take
Yeah.
Black Talons or 1.5 Agrons?
Black
Black
Talons.
Talons. is
No,
pretty
I mean
good.
that's Agrodons and then one small
Well,
hero.
depends on your list
Yeah.
then. If you're going Agrodon spam, you take the Agrodons.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go mixed, you take the Black Talons.
I agree.
Yeah, like they're just
Actually-
really good.
What is it? Black Talon is comparable to what is that? The hunters, the deep strike skink guys.
Yeah, the bullets.
bull-
and then a
Bullets.
unit of Agrodons. That's
Yeah.
that's a comparable cost.
And a spellcaster.
And a
That's what the
spellcaster,
Black
yeah.
Talons give.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Neve can hit pretty tough. She can do
Yes,
some
she
damage.
Yeah, they
hits
do hit tough
Yes.
too.
well.
And she just bounces out.
Yep. She's like, bye, peace. I'm out.
See ya.
Cool. All right. Summary and overall thoughts on Seraphon. So, obviously, I think it's a nerf from the overpowered Seraphon we had before. Like Henry said, they're paying for their sins of the past for sure. I think the only way to be really competitive with these guys is going cavalry meta. And I think the big monsters are too expensive for what they do. They're too swingy.
Yeah.
And I think manifestations will be very important for this.
It's very funny because I think like their spellcasting is in theory very good,
But it doesn't touch Lumineth.
Yeah, and I think like it
Nothing's gonna
wants
touch
you
Lumineth.
to take manifestations. Like it requires you to take manifestations if you're going to be like a double slon or anything like that.
Correct. Yep.
And
Hey, guess
Like-
what? You still have to cast them and get them out. You know what Lumineth doesn't have to do? Cast them and get them out.
they just don't want to roll anything.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're too good for that. Yeah, so, Zach, overall thoughts?
Yeah, compared to third edition, they're definitely weaker.
Yep.
But I don't see that as a bad thing. They have a lot of things that seem a little overcosted at the moment. The Agrodon spam, the Ripidactyls, like you have a handful of these monsters that just seem to look really solid. And without their own set of endless spells that work really well with them, I feel like you're going to see a lot of them running either the whatever the Emerald Lifestorm one is, or Morbid.
Primal energies.
Or Kronspine. A Kronspine's just always going to be a good, if you have nothing else, just take that.
I do think
Yeah.
Kronspine's actually pretty good in this army. I do. It
Yeah.
gives you another hammer.
I think they're
So-
going to go morbid the entire way.
Morbid is also really good.
Yeah, the extra rend from Purple Sun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, look at that on those Ripidactyls are now
-2.
2 rend,
Oh
2
my
damage on the
God.
charge.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
just
Like,
it's beautiful.
24
I think
attacks.
it's just going to be a solid list. Now, granted, they most armies from 4th edition have been moved to like a pretty standard 4-up save. Some of these guys are at 5-ups. It's a squishy army, and I still overall I think it's really nice.
Cameron?
I rank this as a B. I was at first very, very like high up on it. Like I really liked a lot of the Warscrolls, but like the more you read, it's a lot of their abilities are once per turn army, and so you can't really like. I would love to be able to take 2 Arcs of Sotek. I think taking 2 Arcs of Sotek is incredibly powerful.
But you can only
But,
do
like,
it once.
You can only do it once, and like the Stegodons, like they have a great rampage. You can only do it once. All the rampages are really good, but you can only do it once, and there's only so many monsters, and not everything synergizes well. And then you also look at like how expensive things are, and like everything is pretty expensive except for like skinks. But besides Riperdactyls, everything that's a skink aren't really doing too much.
I think that's one of the things you bring up is comparing this against other things in other armies, and they're just not there yet. I think.
Agreed.
Henry.
I think there's
know-
3 lists you can go.
I was gonna say I know you're a little bit higher on these guys than the rest of us.
So there's 3 lists possible. You can go Agrodon spam.
Yep.
Mhm.
You can do the mixed with like Source Guard plus Ripperdactyls.
Mhm.
And then you can take a Slan and one of each, the Star Priest and Starseer, and then 140 skinks. And you say, I have too many models for you to kill that I can also bring back, and I just try and swarm you.
I don't think the skinks will do much.
Yeah, you're just gonna be bouncing off things.
You're not going to try and do damage.
Yeah.
The entire point is to say, I have too many bodies.
So my problem with that is that the skinks are just too easy to kill
Correct.
because it's.
I mean, so are Skaven
100
Rats.
Yeah, but Skaven backs have resurrection, and they come back and they come in packs of 20.
And they can also do damage.
Yeah, and they can also do damage.
140 is 7 units of 20.
Yeah, but they're also a 6-up save with no ward,
I'm
no
putting a
resurrection.
5-pack of-
And
Obi-
unlike Skaven, skinks don't have a way to just come back naturally. They
Correct.
require the hero
It does
to
take
do
a
it.
4.
And it is a 4-up. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's not like Skaven clan rats bring back, what is it, like D3
Yeah.
at the end of every turn or something?
Oh, yeah, but I don't. Clan Rats, unless you're going
But
Verminous.
still, like, if you're comparing that, then
I just
10
think because
skinks
you can.
versus 20 clan rats, like, it's not comparable in the
Skinks-
sense of skinks don't swarm as good as you'd want.
And
They're
they also
screen,
don't take
in my
buffs
opinion.
well. There's nothing that really synergizes with the skinks like it used to. Like you used
Yeah.
to get the mortals and all that other stuff. Now you don't get anything. Like they literally are just screens.
What is it?
Yeah.
20 skinks is 200 points, and 20 clan rats is what, 170?
20 Clan Rats is 160.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, dude.
There you go.
There's not even
But
a
also-
question.
Yeah, it is the points math. It comes out weird. I think for a lot of stuff, they just need to fix the points.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Seraphon can be good. They just need to kind of fix some things.
I think
I
these
think-
Warscrolls are great. I think the price might be a little too high on some
Yes.
of them.
The Celadon's down, specifically the Solar Engine,
agreed.
because I don't think anyone's
Yeah.
going to ever pay 290 points for
290,
a Solar
no way.
Engine.
No,
way.
why would they ever?
No way.
No, there's no.
Like, let Monster Mash people have fun. Let them bring more than 3 monsters.
Oh God, please.
And maybe we can see some build diversity. Otherwise, it's just
Agrodon spam.
Agrodon spam
Yep.
or the Ripperdactyl mix build.
Yep. 100% with you.
Oh, I want to see that Riperdactyl.
Dude, I do too. I wish I had a lot of those, man. I think Riperdactyl. I think they're scary.
They're just so ugly.
When I saw
They're
the
so old
when
and
I
ugly.
when I saw the profile, I was like, this is 120 points. This is crazy.
Yeah,
They're
that's
so
that's
cheap.
They're
crazy.
so cheesy. They're crazy.
I forget who watches and plays Seraphon, but you know, if you have a couple like 20,
Michael,
21
if you're listening,
Yeah.
there you go, Michael. If you have a bunch of Riperdactyls, I'd love to play them.
Just add him in the comment in the description of the video. Just
Yeah.
Hey,
have
Michael, by
Michael.
the
at
way,
me. if you're in the Discord, just message me. We'll leave it a surprise for
That's
when a
hilarious.
tournament I go to. So we'll see how well that goes.
Smite Club.
No, Mike. Whoever's got the buy's got to play
Yeah.
Riperdactyl spam.
I'll do it. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
I'd play
Yeah,
it.
you got the buy. You're fighting me with as many
Yeah.
Riperdactyls as I can put on the field.
All right, so that's it. That's all we got for this show. It was a long one, but we got through it. Next is Stormcast and Sylvaneth to finish out Order.
Yeah.
Talk about two very different battle types.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very different. It's like this one all over again. Like
Yeah.
you have
Yep.
two
Yeah.
very polarizing.
Very, very, very
faction
different.
packs
Yep.
here.
Yep.
One has like 12 war scrolls.
The other one has, like, 800.
80 war scrolls.
Oh,
That
God.
each have like something decent compared to 12, where two of them are good.
Yeah. Sylvaneth got kind of the shit end of the stick for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what we're doing next. So we'll get some peeps on for that, and yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.